One more second. Let me turn up my light.
One more second, and
you
we're
can't
live.
say, yeah, go live and then go one more second because we're live now.
Can't turn it off.
I can't
Can't turn
end
it
it.
off.
Go live and then go one more second 'cause we're live. Shut up, Gareth. Yeah. Hello, everyone. So we're on my channel today because we're on Dave's last time. We alternate just for fun, really. It's got shut up. It's all going on here. Anyway, yeah. We have a lovely guest. We got 2 guests today. So that's pretty cool. We got 4 people in the room already, 7 people in the room. I feel like an auctioneer. 9 people, 12 people, 15 people, 2,000 people going to the lady with the hat. So yeah, it's very cool. We've got. I'm in charge of the comments. So good luck with that.
All right. So yeah.
And,
So whenever Gareth's in charge of the comments, we always get way behind. So we talk about each topic twice because we talk about once, so we talk about again a half hour later. So
and the second time is always the best version. So it's all good.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever we say, we can look forward to the next time we talk about it with the comments. It's a lovely thing. Dave, tell us who we've got today.
So today, sitting right next to me, this is Holly, Holly Rhiannon, and Holly is. We'll let her talk about herself in a minute. But the reason that she is visiting is she is the founder of a small press that. I don't know. Should we hold this up?
Yeah.
And this was the what do you call it? The
inaugural launch publication.
The Stygian collection. So Holly's one of the founders of this press, and she is kind of doing a little. This is one leg. This is like half of the U.S. leg tour. She's going to be doing a bunch of different tours around the world over the course of the year. Right?
Yeah, I'm taking a year to travel, so I've sort of outlined the U.S. by where my authors are located, and in this first issue it's not going to be multiples. In this first publication, we featured a bunch of authors from AuthorTube, and Dave was included, as well as Margaret. So I'm going to reach Margaret eventually, but that's at the end because I'm on the East Coast, and then I'm working my way around to the West Coast.
Yeah. So Holly was nice enough to come spend a couple of days with us here at one of her stops, and so yeah, we did some fun things which we can talk about. I think mostly involving books, but yeah. So Margaret and I were both in that collection, and we thought this would be a perfect pairing to have both Holly and Margaret here because Margaret is like number one is live streamer extraordinaire. I don't know anybody on YouTube that live streams more than Margaret, so she's an expert at this, and she's published 85 books. So, she's an author expert as well. So,
But
we should probably let you guys both. We'll let them both. Should we give them both a couple minutes, Gareth, to introduce themselves and their books? And maybe we'll even let Gareth talk about his books for a minute. We'll see if he's good.
What are you drinking out of, Dave?
This is my goblet. This is my dragon goblet.
I have not seen that up close. Wow.
I always use this because that way nobody ever knows what I've got in it.
Wow.
And it's just super cool. So
He only has one, though.
I only have one. I didn't have one for Holly.
Okay.
The bitterness in her voice, I could hear that.
I have fancy goblets in storage now, but I do have more than one.
I'm sure.
So yeah, Margaret, tell us about your channel first, and then tell us about your books.
Sure. So I am Margaret Pinard on my BookTube, AuthorTube channel, and I basically talk about books that I've read, books that I'm working on, travels that I do that are involved with author life, book tags, and I do some sprints and stuff. So I made the shift about a year in to live stream instead of editing normally, And so that's what Dave is talking about, being a live streamer extraordinaire. I had to do it for a job. And then when I had the skills, I was like, hell no, I'm not doing all this editing. Let's do live streaming. So we have a lot of fun over there. And yeah, so I'm on Wednesdays and Sundays and some Fridays. Like tomorrow morning, I'll be doing a sprint. So yes. And I'm a historical fiction and fantasy author. So what you'll hear about what you hear me talking about is history, because I'm a huge nerd. So hopefully that aligns with some folks.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I don't write historical fiction, but I have a history degree, so I've been a historian in the past. So I relate to your affection for history. But yeah, it's all non-fiction that I've read. Really, I don't read that much historical fiction, but I need to read your books though, so maybe that could be the start of me reading historical fiction. So there we go. So those are your 4 best books, are they?
Yes, definitely. The ones that were in my mom's bookcase at the moment when I ran down to get them, 4 best out of 6. I don't know where the other 2 are.
Awesome. So Holly, tell us about the Stygian collection.
Well, the Stygian collection is now becoming our old publication. It's coming up on a year now. I need to write the anniversary down, but this is a work of dark fiction that makes you think. The call for submissions was to author tubers specifically, and they had to give their own take on the word Stygian. And we were very lucky that we got a lot of amazing submissions and boiled it down to, I think there's 24 in total. So it was quite the publication, lots of people involved, and you have a lot of sort of dark underworld stuff, but also some quirky things and heartwarming things. It's a very unique collection. And I can say, as someone who is not generally an anthology reader, I love it a lot. And I know I'm biased, but we've received some other comments as well from people saying, oh, I don't really read anthologies, but this one just sort of came together as a cohesive unit. And that's something that I'm very proud of with this publication. And now we're working on our next publication, which we have finally announced the title and given a little bit of teaser, and it's called Dark Flock. And it's going to be...
You're going to like this, Gareth.
The initial pitch that we received from the author was that it is Twilight Zone birding.
Whoa.
I think I might be the biggest Twilight Zone fan in the country. So yeah. So that's awesome.
Okay.
Twilight Zone.
We're about to start crowdfunding on that one. We decided we would wait until after April Fools. So it'll be coming out April. The crowdfunding will come out April 5th, but we've got our artist nailed down. We've got, the proof almost completely ready, and it's just to sort of help us out with some support. And that'll be across all of our social media. And I mean, that's...
Are we allowed to say the name?
Yes. Do you?
Dark Flock, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Dark Flock.
Dark Flock. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's...
that's the book written by one author, is it?
Fiction.
Not an anthology.
Sorry?
That's one author, right? It's not a collection.
Yeah. So we were going to publish, like a longer work, but it's a collection. So it's a collection of short stories, but all by one author. And it was just too good. We had to put it out because I was thinking at first, well, we did the anthology and now we sort of want to hone in on one story. But when someone comes to you with Twilight Zone birding, you don't say no. And it is
wow.
Yeah, I love the fact you're releasing it on April Fools. That's
no, we're bypassing April Fools because it's just so odd that we figured if we actually put it out April 1st, people might think it's a joke.
Right. Wait till it dies down. Smart.
Brilliant. Right, let's get everyone saying hello before we move on, because otherwise we'll be behind, and I'm never behind.
That's right.
So Jenny's here.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Aaron read the books here. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Aaron did a really cool tag today. Can't remember which one it was, but that was a cool video. Pat's here.
Hey, Pat.
Pat's recently got over 500 subs. So that's pretty cool.
Nice. Congrats, Pat. Yeah, Pat's been killing it.
Yeah. And there's like present on lots of other people's channels, isn't she? So
Yeah.
that's cool. Nicole says hi.
Hi,
Hi, Nicole. Brian's here. Hi, Brian. Nicole says smart move about April Fools.
Yeah.
I hide for the whole 24 hours. I love it. And then greener side of Sam says hi, everyone.
Hey, Sam.
Sam.
Pigeon.
Sam is another Stygian author.
Oh, fantastic. And then Winter Lindy says hello as well. Brilliant.
No.
Yeah. So, Holly, do you write as well, or are you sort of strictly kind of like an editor? And
Oh no, I was gonna say there's a lot of other stuff that I do too. I have a writing channel. It's just under my name, Holly Rhiannon. I primarily do fantasy and some sort of like urban horror, I guess you would call it. My first book that I put out was, aside from graphic novels, which I've shown Dave, but they're not under my current pen name. I did a sort of witchy young adult story a couple years ago called A Time When Demons. And my next stuff that I'm coming out with is more high fantasy. So that's generally what I do. And my
poetry.
channel, I do writing education, and it's a little bit on hold right now because of the travel, but I'm going to be getting back into it in the next couple of months.
that's
tell,
cool.
Tell them the name of the comics, so in case anybody wants.
Oh,
to
no.
No, you don't want to talk about.
I mean, I can. They're part of the Eternity series, but you'd have to look up my. Oh, we got dogs.
All right.
No.
Dog freak out break.
Oh no, she just ran up the door.
You finished talking. I'll let her out.
I had to refilm a video earlier because Chico, one of my dogs, started making the most horrendous noise, and I just couldn't ignore it. So I had to, try and sort him out. But I was like trying to. I was like, I'm going to film this. I'm going to film this. And then he went, no, I'm not going to film this.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that. So yeah, dogs, eh? Phew.
So my graphic novels are part of the Eternity series, which will be an actual full novel at some point. So I've switched the format. And in the collection, I had 2 poems. So I've published my poetry, but I'm waiting for my fantasy epics. Those should be coming out in the next 1 or 2 years, that sort of thing. And Stygian Society was founded by authors for authors. So my partner, who is also an author tuber, he's Pay Attention, Pay Vio, and everything was sort of started on YouTube, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Yeah. Well, these connections are really cool, aren't they, that we make? They really matter, which is great.
See, this is why Margaret is a live streamer extraordinaire, because she is also in the chat.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dave.
I think that's because she's trying to get away anyway. I think Margaret said something, and then it was over the top of someone else, and she was like, "Well, I'll just type it then." If you're not going to
ask
answer
yourself a question, look at this, Margaret. How do you write such fantastic historical fiction? Look at that.
Oh, I can go on about that. Sure.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
That's called an audience plant, but you just did it for me, so thank you. Yeah.
I'll just so everyone knows what we're talking about. I'll bring up those comments. So William says hi. So hi, William. And then Margaret says, and she writes poetry.
Holly.
And then lots of cats.
You said dogs, eh? And I said cats. We
Are
represent.
they yours or cats?
I have a cat.
I don't know if my. Yeah, but what's the little emojis? Are they cats or dogs?
They're cats.
They're
I
cats.
was
Yeah.
just giving a voice to the voiceless during this conversation.
My cat is in
one cat?
Oh my god, the amount of noise that my cat makes now is mental. They're all making too much noise. My pets, but they're all really old. So.
Oh, yours are good. Where's Ralph? Is he there?
Ralph.
Is there a cat named Ralph?
He was over there a minute ago. He's moved.
There's a cat named Ralph.
So where he's gone.
That's a good cat name. I like it. He's got to be a big
my
marmalade
cat's
tabby,
Rosie.
right?
My cat's called Rosie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Ralph is the only one that ever
came
makes
with a name.
appearances, though.
What are your cats called, Margaret?
Bean, as in coffee
Bean?
bean. Yeah,
That's
he
awesome.
came with a name. Yeah.
Oh, I love that bean. Yeah,
He came with
named
the
after
name?
Sean Bean, probably.
Yeah, I got him from a friend. So
Oh, that's the
Oh,
tricky
so
part, right? Because then you depending how old they are, right? You don't really want to change the name because
yeah.
they're already familiar with that one.
I mean, it's not like he came when someone calls, but
I was
you know,
thinking cats don't really care as much.
Yeah, that's
no,
true, I guess, right?
yeah.
You could just
But
call him
I
Hey.
learned, yeah, I learned his tells, so I can still get him to pay attention when I want. I know.
I've got a big question for everyone. Have we brought biscuits to the show?
I was wondering when that would come up.
We brought
I
biscuits.
sort of a loose interpretation.
A loose interpretation of
What is
biscuits.
that?
What is that?
All right. Well,
We'll
you're
see.
starting. Let's see it.
Okay.
Yeah. What have you brought?
Okay, so I don't have biscuits in this house because it's my parents' house and I'm visiting, right? So the closest thing I have is cherry almond bark, which is dark chocolate with dried cherries and almonds, which is
Nice.
Oh,
lovely,
nice.
That
and
sounds
it's a great
incredible.
like
Yeah.
road trip snack.
Yeah,
But
that's
I still
awesome.
have left over from my trip malt loaf, which Gareth might find interesting. I actually liked this, and many
I
people
like
are like,
malt loaf.
"What are you doing?" I like them. I like them.
I like malt loaf. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool.
Where are those from? From what you said from your trip? From where?
from the UK. They're English.
When were you there?
End of February.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So
You
it's like a
guys
month.
didn't meet up.
No, I didn't know. When
No,
did you go? Where did you go?
I landed in London. Was basically up in southwest Scotland, Glasgow and North Ayrshire.
Oh, wow. So you went from London to Scotland.
Yes, you
Oh.
can hear all about it in my recent videos.
There we go. Yeah. Well, we need to
Yeah,
watch them then. That's awesome. I missed that.
it was really
Brilliant. So
fun.
did you like it? Did you like London and Scotland?
Yes, yes. It was a research trip and it was a very quick trip, so I was like trying to fit as much in as I could, as always. But I would not do a 1 week trip again. I usually go for like 2.5 weeks because the airfare and the air travel and the what's it called? The not time lag. Décalage. What's that called?
Jet lag.
Jet lag.
Jet lag.
Jet lag
Jet lag.
is
Yeah.
so bad, but from the West Coast to the UK. But I just wanted to go, and I needed a break, and so I went for even though it was only for a week. So
So is that because you're writing something that's going to be set in Scotland?
correct.
Ah. What made you decide to set it in Scotland? Is it just that you've had a fascination with Scotland, or?
I do, as so many others do, but this is actually a combination of Irish and Scottish. So I've got Irish immigrants coming in the 1830s and 40s, and like the social history of the area in that era in Glasgow and
Okay.
London, sort of reflecting back the reform movement and abolition, and then can't remember what the third thing is at the moment. Chartism. That's what it is. And no one knows what I'm
Chartism.
talking about when I say that. So
I
yeah,
know
this
about
is a very
Chartism. I've studied it
rarefied
many
air.
times.
I have no idea.
So, Dave, Chartism is a really important movement because that was when the vote was extended to the ordinary man. So
Yeah.
it was a really important thing. Did you know, Margaret, that this is a classic British thing? It's hilarious that there was this huge swell of unrest and there was this massive calling for demonstrations and marches and petitions to get the vote extended. And
Yeah.
one of the huge demonstrations that was organised was called off because of rain.
What? No.
It was like,
No.
oh no, I was pissing down. We ain't gonna do it today.
I thought if anywhere in the world that could manage rain, it would be there.
Right? Well,
That is so English, isn't it?
I also learned about something called the Eglinton Tournament, which was like the first Ren Fair in 1843, 34. And that was like 2 days were rained out. You're like, you went through all that expense and you only got 1 out of the 3 days. Way to go, Earl. Like, wow.
Huh.
Yeah,
Felt
we
bad.
have too
Felt
much
bad.
rain. Scotland, it rains all the time in Scotland. I don't know if that is ever dry in Scotland. So I
It
don't really.
promotes moss. I'm okay. I'm a moss lover, and so the more moss, the more grass, heather. I'm good. I'm good.
There was a lot of like very serious prejudice against the Irish in the 1800s. I mean, it was like really, really serious. It was proper racism. There was like posters around the parks, like "Beware of the Irish," and there'd be like an image of what an Irish person
Right.
looked like. So like in those days, they had this sort of idea that certain nationalities looked a certain way, and the
Right,
Irish were
you
kind of like
exaggerate.
warnings
Yeah.
about them. You know, they said they'd sort of pickpocket and they'd start a fight and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
The Scots
I'm
used to promote that
prejudice.
Everybody in
prejudice?
Britain, English.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty much. It was all very anti-Irish. Yeah. By the time you get to the 1800s, the Scottish and English are fine, but yeah, the Irish have got major kind of issues with racism through all that whole period.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
My research location is in Ireland, so I'm very excited to go there. My next travel leg is Europe, so I'm just like, that's where I want to be the most. So very
I've
excited.
never been
Where
to
are
Ireland.
you
I'd love to go.
heading?
I've never been. Yeah, I'd love to go. I'd like to go to Northern Ireland and to Southern Ireland as well, because they're quite different, aren't they? So
Yeah.
I read this beautiful, and I don't usually read memoirs, but I read this beautiful memoir a couple years ago. It was how do you pronounce it? The Scottish. Why are you laughing? You're laughing already because you know I'm going to
I'm
pronounce
laughing
it,
at.
right?
Yeah, you'll see it in a minute. Jenny's made a funny comment.
Oh.
I'm laughing at Jenny's comment. It's all right. You'll see it in a second.
Okay.
Go on.
The how do you pronounce it? Do you pronounce the Hebrides? Scottish
Hebrides, yeah, Hebrides.
That's the right way to pronounce it. So it was set there. It was called "I Am an Island" by Tamsin Kalidas, and she basically it was like really traumatic memoir, but it was totally it's one of these books like you described it to me beforehand, and I don't think I'm going to be interested in it. I only read it because somebody on BookTube went on about it. But it's about this woman that like she's got this like dream to go manage this croft on one of the islands with her new husband, and then like everything
Doesn't
goes wrong.
everybody?
The husband leaves. Sorry?
Doesn't everybody? No. I like this already. This is going on my TBR.
It was pretty good. She wrote like really beautifully, I thought, but it was like, oh my God, like every kind of trauma. She was left to try to manage this croft all by herself, and community was like prejudiced against her, broke her hands, was destitute, and it was like very, very moving story. But yeah, probably your type of book, Mark.
Margaret, do you have like a tone to your writing? Is there like a way that you would describe the kind of atmosphere in your books, or do you think it kind of differs from book to book?
It differs from book to book. So one is a mystery, one is a YA supernatural mystery. So those are very different from.
Hey, show them to us. Show them to us when you.
Oh,
show
okay.
them to us when you're mentioning them.
Specifics.
So okay, the first one is a mystery, historical mystery, 1880s Northern England up to Aberdeen, and it's like political intrigue and very like plot heavy, actiony. But these are the ones that I'm like building on with my current work: the Caning, the Grasping Root, and Stormwrack and Spindrift. And so, I mean, the covers kind of give you a good feel, right? It's like a little eerie, a little spiritual, a little earnest, and like a lot of heart, like a lot of trying to do the right thing and struggle through and connect with people against very hard circumstances. So that's like why I'm bringing in like the labor movement and that kind of thing to show how like people fought against unfair circumstances and triumph in some ways and fail in others. So
yeah,
that's brilliant.
Huh.
Yeah. So clearly you keep setting your books in the UK. So
yeah. Aww.
What's that about? I mean, clearly the UK is awesome, but what is it that that makes you think I won't set it in America?
So here's a possible theory that I write historical fiction because I'm trying to show people things that they can't understand when they're too close to them. So for Americans who are particularly touchy, perhaps, I'm also setting it in a different country because maybe that's distant enough in place, and the time 120 years ago is distant enough in time that they'll sort of accept these lessons or, tales, and I don't know.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
theory.
Well, that's a similar kind of theory about that idea that if you write science fiction, then you can make lots of political
Right.
points and lots of
Right.
social messaging, but it's cloaked because it's science fiction. So you're not like hitting them hard because it's allegorical or something like that. So yeah, I can see I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Are you able to do this with that? Like you just had to do this research trip. Do you have to do that like periodically, or you were able to get by without?
I very much have to.
Okay.
Something tells me
No.
that that's not true.
No, I mean, plenty of authors manage to write things about places without visiting them. There's plenty of resources available for that. But of course, like being there and taking pictures and videos and seeing resources you don't have access to, like going to the tiny little museums that are converted churches and looking at the stones that they had in the graveyard and that sort of thing. Like you're not going to get that on Google. So I'm really looking for the chance encounters and what that leads me to. That's the best part.
Do you actually write while you're there so you can get some sense of like what you're seeing down before you don't have to try and remember what you saw? So you're writing passages and stuff.
I write like travel journal wise, but not the fiction that I'm intending to incorporate the story into. So like when I'm there, I'm talking about, I heard this story, it's about this person, he did this, like that sort of thing. And I'm talking about, I went to this cafe and I walked out on this trail and this is what I saw down to the shore. But I'm not writing fiction while I'm there because I'm not in the mindset. I'm gathering rather than creating.
Yeah, different part of your brain.
Yeah.
One last question before we go to comments again. Do you write in a dialect? Do you like write in an accent, or do you leave it to the imagination of the reader?
Question.
That you seem to tinge that question in a way that you want the answer to be no, I don't write in an accent, but unfortunately I do use dialect in my sentences and some of them. I try to do it carefully, so
be careful.
I didn't realize that was a loaded question. Go on, Dave. Sorry.
I said, be careful. Now he's going to ask you to say it.
I know. I know.
The rest of it in a Scottish accent.
The problem is I can do it well for a few sentences, and then like there's too many things going on, and my brain just wanders, and it turns into like Australian, and I'm like, nah.
So these are very short novels, are they?
Very short dialogue. Yes, no big passages of dialogue.
No audiobooks.
No great. No what?
Yeah.
No audiobooks.
No, I don't have audiobooks. I've had people like elbowing me, and I haven't done that. Yeah.
That's cool. Right. Let's see. There's a few other people said hello. So, and then where are we? Okay. So, Jenny says, "How you feeling?" To Dan. Oh, Dan says he's crawled out of bed to say hello.
Oh.
Yeah, because Jenny. This is what I laughed at. Jenny said, "Scott's the easy spot we're usually drinking." She's feeding the stereotype. That's not.
Oh, wait. We missed a bunch here.
Did you?
I think that's where you're
Did
going
we?
back to.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a lot.
Oh yeah. We did. Sorry, I'm gonna go back a little bit further.
Wagon wheels. Jenny's got wagon wheels tonight.
Yeah, awesome. That's what I had last week. Wagon wheels are amazing. So yeah, definitely recommend them. I haven't talked about what I've got.
Wagon wheels. What are wagon wheels?
Chocolate biscuit. So basically, there's like mallow and jam in the middle, as well as like marshmallow and jam
Love those ones.
with a biscuit and then chocolate around it.
It's like sort of a graham wafer, I think.
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, it depends where you are, Margaret. I mean, wagon wheels are also little like dissolvable
I was thinking
snacks for toddlers.
Are they?
Where like Those
I
are
was
the
thinking
kinds of
pasta
galaxies.
shape.
No,
Like I'm sure.
they're not
They're like
dissolvable.
flavor. His wife
I've
gives him
never.
two who can suck on him for a while.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that kind either. I was thinking they were like pasta
No,
shaped
no,
because like
They're real.
Yeah.
They're real. I'm not kidding.
okay.
Yeah.
Haven't tried it. Not gonna knock it.
Yeah, next time you come down, get yourself a wagon wheel. Next time you do your research. And then Cobble Dragons here. Hi.
Hi, Liam.
Everyone loves Scotland. We're awesome. Yeah. Scotland is awesome.
Yeah.
I've only been once and I really want to go back. And
Where'd
it was
you
so
go?
long ago. Went to Edinburgh. So one of my wife's best friends lives in Edinburgh. So one of the times, because she sees it all the time, but one of the times that she went, I went. And yeah, I'd love to go again. I'd love to go back. And I'd like to go to, like rural Scotland as well. It'd be nice.
Do you want me to take her?
I want to go since I have read St. Ives.
Okay. That's Cornwall, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a name, and she's written about Scotland. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's probably true because it's a different part of the country. You should visit. We can teach you such fun curse words.
Oh boy.
I like the fact that Americans find the Scottish accent quite hard to understand on the chat shows. When Americans come over and on our chat shows, if there's like a Scottish person on the sofa, they're like, "I have no idea what you're saying," and it's quite fun to watch. We're used to the Scottish accent, but Americans are like, "What?"
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that means your writing has to be completely incomprehensible as well, right?
That's how she puts out so many books.
Jenny, Scots are easy. Oh yes, that's the we just had that. I think I look lovely. I think I looks lovely today. Daniel, I crawled out of bed. He's not very well. Sorry, Dan. Get well soon.
Feel better, man.
Yeah. MJ's here.
Hey, MJ. Want to go on your pillow?
Dan says, "Living the dream." Hello, Jim.
Oh, that's for her.
Hi, folks. Dropping in to say hi.
Hello.
Good. Good impression.
Yeah, is that right? I think I've done it better, to be fair. I think Jim's wife's probably just like, I'm not going to watch that crap anymore. You can't do it. You can't do
Oh,
Hey,
someone
Jim.
else got
No,
popped.
it sounds just happened. I don't know what it is. Hey,
Dan is with me here. Okay.
MJ says hi. There's the star.
Yeah.
That was Olive. Yeah, that was Olive. Yeah. Everyone's saying hi. Hope you feel better, Dan. Nathan's here. Hi, guys. Watching at work.
Hey, Nathan.
Get back to work.
Fight the machine, I say.
Yeah. Your books are really affecting you, Margaret. You're trying to incite a riot. And
Or I'm just putting myself into them, whichever.
I can't remember where Nathan works. Nathan, what are you doing at the moment? Tell us what you're doing, and we'll tell you whether you should stop doing it and watch our
You're
live
gonna get him
stream.
in trouble.
Bring it! I shall judge your accent with extreme prejudice.
I know. That's
Calling
why I
you
said
out,
maybe
Margaret.
I'll try it in pieces, but that's just
Well, it'd be interesting to find out if writing an accent is easier than saying an accent.
Probably right.
That's an interesting question. And yeah, it's gonna be different. I mean, different people will probably read it and think, "Oh, she didn't pull that off," or "Oh, I can tell what she means," and like I can hear it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh, Margaret's here in the chat. That's cool. Hello, Margaret. How you doing?
Wow.
Christopher says, "Evening, everybody."
See, I'm not the only one. Pasta shape.
What are you on about? Pasta?
It's called
pasta.
rotini, maybe. Rotini.
Do you say
micronized?
you say pasta in America, don't you? Do you say pasta or do you say pasta?
I say pasta.
You say pasta.
I think
That
Holly
sounds
just
really
said
cool.
pasta.
Pasta.
Pasta? You say pasta?
I'll say pasta.
Yeah, that's a Brit thing.
Yeah.
I never thought about how I said it as a Canadian
Canadian.
until I said it in when I was in Virginia, and they said, "Oh, you said that, and now I don't know how I say it." Whatever someone else says, and I just sort of say that.
We'll
so
say
I
it
think
now.
I must. Well, but now I don't like
Say it.
pasta.
Pasta.
She says it right.
Right.
But
So
they
what?
seem to think, I think
Well,
they thought I said.
I need to. I'll be reminded next week how the Italians say it. And clearly, that's going to be the correct way how the Italians say it, right? Because it's an Italian thing. So I'm going there next week. So I'll feed back on how they say pasta. We can find out which country is correct.
What parts are you going to again?
Well, my wife's half Italian. And by the way, she makes the most incredible lasagna. That's her dad's recipe. But yeah, so he was full Italian. So when we go over there, we'll visit her auntie and the cousins, people like that. Maybe her uncle, maybe if he appears. We're only going for 4 days, but we're definitely seeing her auntie Olga, who's a really lovely lady, and she's insisting on cooking for us. And she's an amazing cook, so that'd be cool. And my wife's cousins as well. So yeah,
Where?
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So it's
where?
between Rome and Naples. It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's on top of a
Nice.
mountain. It's a place called Valveri that was built by 4 families over centuries.
Huh.
So
Very
lots
cool.
of inbreeding. Just saying.
We have one Italian author in here.
Who's
We're gonna
that?
visit her. Linda.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Where is she?
I think I can say the province, and it won't zero in on her too much. Brescia.
Brescia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
It's near. I think it's near Milan. I was mapping places because I think that's the area I'm going to wind up in first, and then work my way sort of towards the UK because I have to come back for a family wedding at the end of August. So I'm going to go in and then work to the coast. So yeah, I'll be starting in that region.
Wow.
Nice.
So cool.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be dry and warm. But who knows? I think at the moment it's pretty similar to what we've got at the minute, which is a bit cloudy
Well,
and
that's
bit
the other
cold.
reason why I'm doing that. I don't like the heat. So I figure if I'm going to warmer places when it's a bit cooler and then go to the UK, I should be all right as I move along.
Yeah. We've had some crazy heat sometimes and lately, the last couple of years. Well, 1 year, what was that, 2 years ago? It was crazy. It was like everyone just were walking around naked. It was insane. And British people do not like taking their clothes off.
No, I would not be okay in that situation.
No. Yeah, especially Holly. You're like, no.
Where am I? So, yeah, right, so let's go back to so this is I've already read those bits. I don't think I should have moved it when I started moving it.
Jenny's comment. Maybe my speech.
Egg and wheels. I thought pasta.
Yeah.
Is that where you left off? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Why I'll never make a channel.
No.
Don't let it stop you.
If Jenny made a channel, it'd be so good. It'd be brilliant. So I definitely want her to do it. That'd be awesome. That was about ugly looking Irish in the 1800s.
Oh, okay. That's why she looks lovely. Now I get it.
Yeah. Good to see you all. Thank you, Jim. There's Brian. Brian's in the house.
Rage in
Biscuit.
the house. Rage Biscuit. Oh my
Another
God.
Stygian author.
Yay, Stygian author.
I have a signature now.
Ooh.
I've captured his soul.
I know
Very
Brian's
cool.
told me that he wishes that he had the name Rage Biscuit when he did the story because he would have named the story after it.
Did he sign it,
Great
Rage
name.
Biscuit?
No, he should have signed it Rage Biscuit.
Oh my
I just
God.
He does that now in the signings, when he does his stall.
Cool.
That's brilliant. Jane says hi. How was the weather in Scotland today? Soggy. Soggy. That probably sums up all of Scotland's weather. It's really good actually, 'cause I can be a bit I can gloat a little bit because I'm right at the bottom in Portsmouth. We get the best weather. So when every single time the weatherman says, oh, it's going to be a bit rainy, so many times they say it's not going to be too bad in this bit. And there's a little strip and then the bottom, and then like we get the least amount of rain, which is really cool. So come to Portsmouth.
I will say, when I went there for 1 week, it was sunny in Scotland, and it was pissing down freezing rain in London. So
There we go.
Not
Yeah,
really.
so that's what you. So you're thinking, well, Scotland's always dry.
no, I mean, I'm thinking that's where I belong. That's what's accepting me back. Kind of trying to flush me out.
Dan says, can anyone understand Jenny's comment? Do you use Doric and Gaelic or just accented language?
So Doric, no, because I'm in the West. I'm writing people in the Hebrides and then Ayrshire for this book. So Doric, no. Gaelic, yes. I do take some like old songs and prayers, and I put those in as like little pieces of daily life, and all the dialogue that you actually need to understand, I just keep it with accented English. So
That's awesome.
and lest someone bring in Fourth Wing, I did study Gaelic, Scots Gaelic, for like 3-ish years. So I did have some like experience practicing with other folks who speak it and not just picking up letters and throwing them in
Oh,
the
that's
book.
great.
Well, it sounds like you've had quite a long affection for the UK if you've been studying Gaelic as well.
Yes, for sure.
Have you got family over here or?
No, not in the UK, but I do have family in Ireland.
In Ireland? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Pasta for me, but also depends on where you are in the US. No, I mean wherever we're talking about, clearly it's the Italians are going to say it correctly, isn't it? So we need to find out what they say.
I think Pasta Queen says pasta.
Pasta
Yeah.
Queen? Is that a
And I
TikToker?
trust her.
Pasta Queen, is that an
A
Italian?
YouTuber?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I need to ask my
Oh.
wife, but she's not here. I can ask her how to say it properly. I'm a security guard overnight. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you told me before. At a rehoming project, the site tends to be quite quiet. But an ex-resident turned up during the day and smashed the window.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was a bit hectic. So yeah, listen to us live stream. MJ says, "Hey Ray." Brian went, "Ah!" in return.
Yeah. I could hear it.
Yeah. Pasta.
Pasta.
But then how do people say pasta?
Speaking country accents. And I
Yeah,
get people
exactly. How do you say
talking about
pasta? Depends. It all depends.
Oh, Holly's in the chat. Hello, Holly. Nice to see you, Holly. How you doing?
My channel.
You can be in two places at once. Brian says, "Hey, MJ."
That is not what Brian sounds like.
It's what he sounds like in some of his videos. He gets that like
Yeah,
muscle
yeah,
tee and like
yeah.
does that voice. So
Yeah, that's his Rage Biscuit voice. I do use some Gaelic or garlic. She's talking about cooking now. She does use some garlic, but nothing that has to be understood. The dialogue's accent in English. That was Margaret.
I answered it in the chat just for those people. I don't know.
You kind of think, oh, these guys are too slow. I'm just going to chat in the chat.
You can skip my comments.
Things get skipped, It's okay. It's all right.
I don't skip comments. I have respect for everybody, even when you start talking about wagon wheels being pasta.
By the way, I can tell you I went to a gallery with Brian and he was very well behaved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you expect
I believe
anything
it.
else?
I like the fact you have to clarify that because we're spending time in a rage all the time.
I'm just here for the biscuits. Yeah, we got to get back to the biscuits in a minute.
Yeah, I'm just here for the biscuits. We're all here for the biscuits, but we haven't actually talked about biscuits much.
Well, you almost caught up.
This is a good rehearsal for next week, isn't it? Because we got a special guest next week. And I was saying today, if we talk for an hour about biscuits and we got this guy on, it'd be hilarious. We'll talk about it later. Fourth Wing drove Scots crazy. Couldn't even say the name of the language correctly. So
Is that a big
is that
controversy?
notorious? Is 4-3 notorious for being really bad at pretending to be Scottish?
It's
Oh.
like appropriation. Yeah, she got a lot of flack for it.
What a fool. Dan says we're getting a full solo clips. Whoa, nice. In a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
An uncomfortable number of people who think that this is the coming of the apocalypse. Well, they all MAGA people.
The schools around here are giving all the kids, like every kid in the school, they're giving them these like NASA approved solar glasses to view the
That's
eclipse.
cool.
We
Yeah.
know who won't wear those.
Who?
That's
Certain
bad.
president.
So you can see it better.
Yeah.
One of the best images ever.
Dave, you've added to the chat as well.
Huh?
You've
You're
got
gonna
comments in the
Yes,
chat. What's going on?
everyone's in
This
there
is all gone
except Garrett.
crazy. It's all kicking off.
Garrett.
I'm gonna have to write something in the chat. Once you guys are talking about something, I'm gonna write something in the chat. Say, hello everyone. My name's Gareth. Chris, what's Margaret doing? You're right there.
I'm illustrating the adjective squidgy. In case anyone is
Squidgy.
curious, this is a squidgy, loosely termed.
No, it's pronounced Stygian, not squidgy.
Sponsored by Serene Maltloaf. Stygian. I like it.
I like malt loaf, and it is squidgy. You're right. It's very nice. Yeah, 20 points. Chris says pasta came from China, but not if. Whoa.
That is a strong statement.
Yeah. Well, tea came from China, but we claimed it as our own. Tea's a British thing now. Gareth looks very handsome. Oh, thank you very much, Brian. David. That's my Victober voice.
Yeah, bro Victoria.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Got to eat some dinner, but not pasta. Let me see you all. So, Brian says, thanks for sticking up for me, Holly and Margaret.
Anytime.
Yeah, whatever, Brian. It's
All right,
nice
so
to have
now
a
we get
friend.
back to the important thing. So that is what is that biscuit that you're eating there,
The one with
Margaret?
pants on in the image.
Oh, we talked about it. It's a brand called Serene, and it's kind of like a mix between a quick bread and a brownie, but it's not sweet. It's just like a sweet, squidgy. It's made from the what is it? The outputs of the process of beer making. So very malty sweet,
Malt?
not like sugar sweet. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a very interesting taste, which is why I like getting one when I go there.
That,
Do you get shortbread when you go to Scotland?
Yes. I also get tatty scones. Tatty
Yeah,
scones.
scones.
Sorry. Tatty scones.
Yeah, scones. Scones are
Delicious.
amazing. Yeah, yeah.
And regular scones, yeah. But tatty scones are
we already
potato away.
established that. We had already established that UK scones are different than the US scones, though. I thought.
Oh, very.
Yeah, no. You do something weird. You put gravy on yours, don't you? It's just like,
No,
what?
That's a biscuit.
that's an actual
biscuit.
biscuit.
Actual.
Yeah.
Oh, you put gravy on your biscuits. It's even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scones, our scones, they're usually like these triangular. Look at him shaking his head.
I mean, I'm closer to the UK than you are. I'm Canadian. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Frank.
When you start putting gravy on everything and mayonnaise on it, now I understand why Trump happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're like
Certain
a
Brits
lump.
like their gravy too. They just call
Oh
it
yeah,
something
on
else.
our roast dinners, not on our biscuits.
Not on a scone.
They're both
Super.
savory.
Don't put our biscuits.
Do you guys ever watch the videos where people from a different culture try the food from your culture?
Yeah,
I've seen,
I got
like,
I got
British-
obsessed for a while with watching people eat British food.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was really cool.
Well-
They all liked it. Every video would go, "Oh, this is nice." I was like, "Yes, yes."
Really? Really?
Oh,
I've seen a lot.
clearly
of
I haven't seen
people are
Margaret's
speaking
videos.
over beans on toast.
Beans on
beans
toast.
on toast. I
love
just
it,
had
but
egg on
I've seen a
toast.
lot of people who hate it.
Oh.
and think it's very
Oh.
weird. So I've seen a lot of polarization there. If we're talking about
Okay.
UK
You
food.
have beans over there then.
I
You
like
don't have
peanut
beans in sauce over there.
Mm-mm.
Me?
Baked beans. Yeah.
No, U.S.
Oh, I do. I love it. I'm saying there's a polarization. I'm Canadian. I'm not American. Make that very clear.
Yeah.
I don't.
Um,
I have never eaten or ever seen beans on toast.
It's so good. Like,
It is good.
Have you, Margaret? Shocked.
Yes.
You have
Yeah.
those on the West Coast?
Well, so we don't have the same version as the UK, but there's a cafe that's one of my favorites in Portland, and they put a version of beans with like a poached egg on sourdough with butter and like a little salt. It's so good. It's so good.
that's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Mexican beans. It's like in Canada, my favorite one is like a maple baked bean. So it's like a sort of savory,
Well,
saucy
yeah.
bean.
So this was like a breakfast food?
I mean, it can be
Yeah.
anything. I've had it for breakfast. I've had it for lunch. Sometimes I'll put like cheese and stuff like that. It's really good.
The
Excellent.
closest I've seen to beans on toast is bruschetta with
That's
like
not it.
tomatoes and beans on a piece of like French bread toast. Like that's the only kind of beans on toast that I've seen.
You've had beans on bruschetta or bruschetta?
Yeah, the little
White beans. Cannellini beans,
white
probably.
beans.
Oh, like some.
And white beans.
I mean, beans is a really kind of like a staple part of the full English breakfast. You know, the sausages, bacon, egg, beans thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Canadian likes the maple beans. Oh.
I can't imagine eating beans for breakfast. Oh my
Wait,
god, that's
really,
eel?
really good.
Eel pies? Oh,
Eel pie?
Brian's got it. Okay.
yeah.
I've never had an eel pie. I've read
eel
about them. I
That's
have
the eel
not.
pie comment.
Yep.
Eel pies.
I don't know about that.
Daniel says
Victorian-
beans on toast is amazing. Daniel's an expert. He's like a food expert, so he knows this. You know, whatever Dan says.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got an A level
It's
in.
like ultimate
food.
comfort food.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like a New England thing. We don't have them. I don't know.
No,
'cause-
it's
Which
not
is weird
like-
because New England's the home of beans, right? Like Boston baked beans, you'd think.
Meatloaf,
Right.
sorry, malt loaf with butter is good stuff. Yeah, malt loaf with butter, awesome. Yeah,
There you
Aaron's. I mean, Aaron's English as well, isn't he? So he's going to know all about this stuff.
Malt
Did you
loaf butter.
Did you have haggis while you were over?
Not while I was over that time, but I have had it before.
I had
There's
it
good
once at a
haggis
wedding.
and there's bad.
I can
So
still taste
there's
it
a whole-
now. It was
There's a
years
whole
ago.
range.
Oh, it's
I've
gross.
had really good and really bad. I'm just saying. You know what I do like is the Stornoway black pudding. That's like the specialty thing that I will often try to
Black
get
pudding.
there.
Have you had
Yeah.
had black pudding?
It's good. Sorry, Holly.
That's cool. Yes. I'm now imagining the taste of black pudding. Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of flavor is it?
I had to eat that when it's pig's blood, isn't it? So it's like gross.
It's like a blood sausage. Yeah.
my when I was really little, when my dad was around, he used to make us eat black pudding. He used to make a breakfast every Saturday. He'd make a like
Good
a
for
full
your
English
liver.
kind of thing. And he used to put black pudding in it, and
Ew.
that's a biscuit, damn it! He's starting to rage. Brian is starting to rage. Somebody calm him down.
It's like the most foreign concept to me in the world.
That's why it's funny, Margaret. That's why it's funny. How about a rowie? Did you try one of those? Jenny's talking about a rowie.
What are
I've
those?
seen those
I
in
would have
cookbooks.
biscuits.
All right. Yeah.
Have
Keep
you guys
talking.
have you guys tried these? Rowies?
No. What is that?
Okay, so I've seen them in cookbooks and I don't know how to pronounce them because I've never seen them in a bakery or a cafe or a restaurant. I think they would just be in like a little cafe. They seem pretty close to lots of other things. So I have a hard time telling the difference and I haven't made them myself. So I am TBD on this topic, Jenny.
I think it's a rowie. I think. But-
Rowie?
no.
Okay.
Sure, I think so. But
The
Jenny will tell
rowie
us. in a
treat.
minute. I thought a biscuit of some sort. Yeah, it is. I think it is. I think the American biscuit. They.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like the
they don't know what a
flavor of
biscuit
this
is.
world.
Oh,
They're
that's
also
a good
usually
question.
round. Yeah.
Someone's just gone.
Flagel of the biscuit world.
What's that?
Hey,
So Holly, we went into New York City and we got bagels, and I introduced her to the concept of a flagel. Do you have flagels on the West Coast,
I
Margaret?
don't know what the heck that is.
What
could
you
that
know what
be?
a flagel is, Gareth?
Flagel sounds like a children's character, like a puppet called Flagel.
I'm
who
like,
is
flamingo
traveling-
bagel? What else is an FL?
Latin bagel.
I'm
Half
flamingo, half bagel.
Garrett's like bagel is not bagel. Garrett's bagel is like a chocolate chip cookie. That's like what they consider bagels, probably.
Well, bagels are
So
such a
flagel is
New
getting-
York, bagel is such a New York Montreal thing.
Yeah.
Like we have
Yeah.
Montreal bagels, which
Right.
he thought was like a flagel, but there's all these degrees of bagel.
Yeah.
So you have the New York bagel, which is like a thick, puffy bagel,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the Montreal bagel, which is like a malt, chewy bagel with a
Okay.
larger hole, and then you have the flagel, which is kind of in between. So the
Yeah.
width of it is like thinner than the Montreal bagel, and it looks kind of similar. It's like
Yeah.
a flattened bagel.
It's
So
basically,
is a flagel like a badly cooked one, is it?
huh?
Is a flagel like a badly cooked one?
No, it's not badly cooked. It's basically they cut out a lot of the middle, so you get, because like to me, a bagel, the good part of like if you get an everything bagel, the good part is like the outside of the bagel, and the inside a lot of times it's just too much bread on the inside. So they
Well,
like
the inside
proceed
is the
to your
hole, isn't it?
nearest
So you can't
bird
really.
feeder,
You can't really
Dave.
like inside.
They take away half the bagel and charge you the same.
I'm right. I know bagels because our bagels there's a hole in the middle, so the inside is definitely not the best bit. That's just a hole.
No, they
not
the outer crust is the best part.
The crust versus the crumb.
Like,
he's like the middle. What are you talking about? The middle
there is no middle.
the middle's just a hole.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh my
like
God.
you gotta be really full up to say that the hole is the best bit, haven't you? Really, you don't really fancy the bagel when you say that. I'll have the middle bit. I'll have the hole. You have the rest of it.
Well, Dave did eat
I'll
the
share.
bagel when we were in New York, so
I'm gonna look for a flagel when I go. I'm going to New York next year, so I will seek out some character in New York called Flagel, and he can show me around.
walk around screaming flagel and you won't stand out at all.
Flagel, Flagel. Oh, it's another British guy. He's just gone mental again. Beans and toast is amazing. No place that makes eel pies should mock anyone else's food.
True.
I love eel. There's a great
I mean, you
song.
get eel in sushi, so people eat eels in other cultures as well.
Unagi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually like the tomato
I like
beans
that.
better, but I always have to give a nod to the maple beans because of Canada.
I had beans for the first time in ages today, and that was I had it twice. I had them at work because work gave us some food because it was like an inset day. So I had food provided which featured beans, and then I had beans in the evening because I had a meal with beans in it. So yeah, twice in one day. Whoa, crazy!
Crazy.
Yeah, there's a tomato sauce with the beans in the UK. Yeah,
Mm.
Oh, barbecue.
All these people
don't
I
know
don't
about
know.
that.
It's nice.
yeah. You can get barbecue sauce. You can get barbecue beans as well, but that's obviously going very exotic. What's the beans on toast?
Very exotic over here now. I don't know. She couldn't. I took too long for the biscuits. That's.
Now ever
She couldn't wait any longer. Everybody's gonna watch you while you eat this.
I'm a
Oh,
Ukrainian.
tell us about your biscuits. What biscuits have you got?
That is not a biscuit.
No, this
It
is
looks like a beet. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it is a beet.
I'm Ukrainian.
What is it?
I'm Ukrainian.
beetroot.
Beet.
It's a beet.
Holly clearly did not understand the assignment.
Is it pickled?
They're over
All
here.
right,
You-
she's
Yeah.
getting restless. These are
You
our
thought we said don't forget your beetroot.
the what?
Is it beetroot? Is that what you got?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. That's
Wow,
what you call it.
that's amazing.
It's beet salad.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
But
All right, so ours are. We
Let me
went.
tell you what biscuits I've got. I'm going to start eating them soon. So they've got this packet here. Oh, no, where are we?
Oh, he's gonna
Border
go.
biscuits. What? I'm going to what? What did you say?
Nothing. Go ahead. Go.
he just had his cookies right here, and you were like, "But."
All right, let's see what you got.
Well, to be fair, I didn't buy any specially this week, which I normally would have done. And this is a box full of like random small packets of biscuits. So there's like 3 flavors pretty much. I think you've got butterscotch crunch, which is quite good, and then you've got chocolate cookies, and then the best one. This one is awesome, which is the golden crunch. And weirdly, there's not many of these left. So yeah.
What is it?
They're
What is Golden Crunch?
Golden. It's kind of like it's like an OT biscuit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What?
which are always the best biscuits.
Oh.
So yeah, but
Yeah,
it's quite.
I agree.
But
Oh,
So good.
I don't like oatmeal cookies.
there we are.
That aggression
yeah.
cookies. Those are the best.
So
Ration?
but it's got a crunch to it, so that's why I call it golden crunch. So I'll eat one of them in a minute. So what have you got, Dave?
Awesome.
What happened?
What biscuit have you got?
We got. I don't know what the place. What
Okay.
was the place we went to?
So it's like the biggest sugar store in the US or something like that. What's it called? I have pictures of it.
It was in New York City, but it was like incredible.
It
had
was
every
crazy.
kind of like sweet and things.
It's the biggest candy department store. But I can't remember what the tagline was, like if it was in North America or the US or the world, but it was absolutely insane.
It was pretty big. It was multi-floored. It was pretty big. Anyway, we got these. They had like every kind of Oreo.
Except for the space ones that I originally wanted.
Ones. So Holly picked out these. This would not have been my first choice, but Holly picked out these.
Well, it's because they were New York cookies.
It's black and white cookies and Oreos all rolled into one.
Okay.
Because I figured we were in New York and the black and white cookie is the whole New York thing.
Yeah.
So
is it?
So we'll
Okay.
try them now. We'll let you know how they are. Go ahead. You have to go first.
okay. As if
Let's
it's
see.
scary.
Let's see
A
it.
little scary.
It's a little scary. It's an Oreo.
But it's not black on the outside. It's light on the outside.
No, it's
Interesting.
black and white on the inside. See?
Right, but it's a white cookie instead of a dark cookie.
Yeah, you've never
They were-
seen golden Oreos?
No.
Oh,
You don't
they're
have
the
those on the
best.
West Coast, the
They're the
golden?
best.
I mean, they may. I don't normally shop for Oreos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the Oreos I've ever seen are black Oreos. I think black and white Oreos.
I think they're
It
great.
doesn't mean there aren't. We might have others because, like, I don't seek out Oreos myself either. So this is cool. So we got a little tasting
So
test going on. Did they pass?
It tastes a lot like a regular Oreo, actually.
it does.
How many ways can you eat
You
sugar?
don't like them?
Well, you say that. I've got the diabetic biscuits here, but I'm kind of trying to ignore them. So I've got, what does it say? 40% less sugar.
Oh, Nairn's biscuits, ginger oats.
Yeah.
See, those look
Yeah,
delicious.
they are really nice, to be fair.
You notice
But,
how that box? You notice how that box is still sealed. You have to
Yeah.
always have to keep an eye on him
These
because every once in a while,
got like 100% sugar.
every once in a while, like all of a sudden you're having a conversation here on the show, and all of a sudden Gareth hasn't talked for 10 minutes, and you look over and you see him in the corner, like you have to make sure he doesn't go into shock.
Oh.
Yeah, there's an emergency number. There's a button I can press just here. It goes straight to the hospital.
Emergency number in the chat.
Okay.
Right, so Christopher says, what's the beans on toast cafe called, please, Margaret?
We press, and I wrote it in the chat.
Oh, there we go. Fair enough.
It took me a minute to remember.
Oh
Yeah. Danny's a food expert because he's 250 pounds. Meal pie is a UK thing, right? Well, not down here, but I think they are they a Scottish thing, maybe? I'm not sure.
They're a
I live
London
right.
East thing. Yeah.
London thing. Oh yeah, there might be a Cockney thing.
Oh, the eclipse.
Jelly deals. Yeah, jelly deals. Yeah. I live right where the totality pass for the 2007 and 2024 eclipses cross. Naturally, I assign this no significance whatsoever.
Nice.
Haggis has to be eaten with baked beans. There you go. There's some advice there from Aaron.
Oh,
As does black pudding. The black pudding does go better with baked beans. To be fair, you need to smother something on the black pudding.
Potatoes. Potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah, well, potatoes aren't that strong a taste though.
Right.
I love potatoes. Potatoes are cool. Some of my best friends are potatoes. Beans on toast is a staple in French Canadian homes. My wife. Oh, there we go. French Canadian homes. My wife ate them every day growing up.
Decade, and at work when we would have like the buffet lunches and breakfasts, they would have baked beans there all the time. It was great.
Wow.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll defend baked beans to anybody.
I can't.
I quite like.
They're really good.
Is the way
I
they
quite
make
like
them
butter
vegan though? Is
Mhm.
the way they
Vegan?
make them vegan? Okay, good. Sometimes baked beans
Yeah, the
are
meat
not.
and the tomato ones are, as long as you don't have them with like the bacon and lard, they're good.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, they are definitely on their own. They're vegan, aren't they? Haggis is with neeps and tatties only. Aaron. Only.
I don't even understand that. I don't even understand that sentence.
Haggis is with neeps and tatties only, Aaron. There you go.
There it
Here's my piece.
There you go. There it is.
That was wonderful.
That's awesome. If you can write as well as you can say it, then you're gonna go very far.
Yeah. I like the neeps and tatties too. The Swedes and potatoes. Yes.
Wait,
You got to
wait,
do the rest of
say
the
it
live
again?
stream in a Scottish accent, Margaret.
Potatoes and rutabaga, nips and tatties.
Yeah. Rutabaga or
Mashed
Swedes,
potatoes,
depending on where you
rutabaga.
are.
Or go with haggis or a beef roast.
Where are we
Okay.
with rutabagas? Yeah. D&D monster? I did not know this.
I love that. That's awesome. Aaron. That is neat. It's a Doctor Who villain, I think. A neat. Flagel is not a thing.
But it's got a big scoop out of the middle, right? It's a big hole or something. Isn't-
Well, all
They call-
bagels have a hole in the middle.
No, but I mean, wasn't
Yeah, well, we've established that's the best bit.
like
Oh no, but I don't think it's based on that. I think it's like the way it's like scooped up and put in or something. Like they're
Oh.
sort of pulled, but I think all bagels are like that.
oh,
Yeah, I don't know. They're really good though. And we have the bagel rivalry in Montreal, which is excellent.
The bagel rivalry. What's this? Some sort of conflict?
Fairmont and oh no. Remember I told you I keep remembering one name and not the other. So there are two bagel shops that are about a block away from one another in Montreal.
oh, wow.
And they have a rivalry going back to like 1940 or something like that. So you go in, and when you go to Montreal, you have to try both of them and see which one you prefer. And I've tried both many times. One is just a tiny bit sweeter.
Saint Viateur?
Yeah,
That's a
Saint
good
Viateur
spelling.
and
Yeah.
Fairmont. And they have like an ongoing battle. They're both really good. I think it's the Fairmont ones that are just a little bit sweeter. So I mean, unpopular opinion, but I can't take one side or the other.
Nice. How do you cut out the middle of a bagel?
I'm going to drop some info in the chat about your flagel and help you out here, Dave.
So you turn the bagel sideways. Turn the bagel sideways like you're going to cut it, in two halves.
Is
And
that
just
actually what they
Just
do?
picture cutting out half of the
Do they actually do it? Because
the
I
third.
middle portion.
It'd have to
Sounds like
be
you're cutting the edges, not the
Top
middle.
and bottom.
flattened it down.
Yeah, it's flat, but I think there's a lot of bread missing.
Okay.
That's one of the good things
knows
about it. You get
simit? Has anyone had simit? It's like it's a sesame ring and it looks like a big bagel with a bigger hole. So that's kind of what I'm picturing with this flagel thing. Those are delicious. They have sesame on the outside. No? No, I'm not seeing any
Alright.
bells ringing.
What's it
Okay.
called again?
Simit. Simit. It's Turkish. It's delicious.
S-I-M-I-T.
Yeah, I haven't found it anywhere in the US, unfortunately.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, we need to order some Simmits.
Good
I'm
stuff.
dropping bagel knowledge in the chat.
All right.
S-I-M-I-T?
S-I-M-I-T.
No,
people-
no. Looks
people
nothing
go
like that.
around-
That's like a ring.
Right. Well, you said it's bigger and the hole's bigger. So that's
Bagels
what I
and
was,
rings.
Bagels a ring?
people walk
Yeah,
around
but
the
this is
street.
like
Oh yeah, no.
It's
It's like
not-
a form. It's
that's
like a twisted
that.
sort
See,
of-
that's mostly whole. What
Okay.
Margaret's talking about. Mostly whole.
That's the title of this episode.
This is going.
That's the title of this episode.
I know, mostly whole. This is
Mostly whole. That's Courtney Love's last band, isn't it? Mostly whole. Okay, this is awesome. Someone wrote a fantastic comment that we'll get to in a second that made me laugh. But we'll get there in a minute. So Jenny says Rowies are also called butterflies. No, butteries.
Butteries. Yeah.
Butteries. Or my eyesight's terrible. Or Aberdeen rolls. Beware your cholesterol levels. They're just flour and lard and butter for worth a potential heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I hear.
Unhealthy food's fun, isn't it?
sure is.
Best part of the bagels, the cream cheese.
Also not wrong.
Baked beans fall through the bagel hole. Oh no, you lost some baked beans. Aaron's lost his baked
there's
beans.
an art to it. There's an art. You can have
Beans
baked
for
beans on
turnips.
a bagel. It's great. You just have to be very careful.
Okay.
Oh, it's
All
not
right.
okay. I love that you're talking in the chat.
No.
Uh,
yeah.
Maybe a bagel hole is like a donut hole. Whoa. The hole tastes different in a donut, then, doesn't it?
That's it. I don't think so. I
Well,
don't think
I mean, if we're gonna get technical, I mean, you can buy donut holes. Where I've
right.
never
That's what I
seen
mean. I was
anybody-
comparing a donut hole taste and the donut taste, and if it's the same flavor, they taste the same to me. The shape does
Yeah.
not affect the taste for me.
Do you guys have runner beans? Because we were talking about baked beans. Do you have runner beans?
What's that? What are
They're
runner
long
beans?
and green, green beans.
They're like fresh beans,
Right, I'm
Dave.
trying to think of what.
Like a
They're like
green bean?
Some of
Yeah.
them are green, some of them
Yeah.
are purple. Depends. There's like heirloom varieties, and you get them at farmers markets. They're not.
I
They're not
what
like
are they're
canned.
these. The ones I like are the ones with like pink. The pink ones that have like pink and black. Those are really good.
Ooh, heirloom.
My mom used to grow them.
But do they
Yeah.
taste like string beans or like string beans?
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much.
what he's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he's referring to a string
Yeah,
bean.
string bean, like green bean is runner bean.
Yeah. You get them in. It's over here. We don't really eat them in like a roast dinner. We wouldn't necessarily have them like randomly. Like you chuck baked beans on anything, but you wouldn't necessarily have runner beans on
No,
anything.
it's more of a seasonal thing. Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
fresh.
Sort of like a hot dinner kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gravy and all that. Gravy dinner.
Yeah, you have them as
Hey,
side
Kelly.
with like butter, garlic.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Kelly. I didn't even see Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly's here. Yeah, sorry, I didn't acknowledge that. Hi, Kelly. Jenny, beetroot is amazing in a sandwich. Just bread, butter, and beetroot.
Is it beetroot or is it
Hmm.
pickled beetroot that you would put in a salad? Do you put vinegar on it, or no?
We wouldn't do that. It's
just
got quite a
boiled?
strong taste anyway, isn't it, beetroot? So don't know if you need vinegar as well.
What
Why
I
is
have
Dave
is like
laughing?
balsamic roots and onion, which
Yeah.
is kind of a classic side dish type thing that you would have like in Ukrainian or Polish.
But it's like a pickled
Oh.
flavor, right?
Yeah, it's a pickled beet.
That's scrumptious.
Oh, it
I
stinks.
think if you
Oh,
Oh,
It looks delicious.
that was the moment that everyone's gonna rewind. When we watch you see YouTube tells you what the most watched bit of your video is. That's
it's
gonna be the most.
peak right there.
lots of foods are stinky. and they're great.
I'm just going to put it out there that you put onions in any sandwich, it makes it better.
That's
Onions
true.
makes any sandwich better.
That's true. You put
Even-
onions in anything, it makes it better.
It's right.
Yeah, even
I
the
mean, maybe not
cereal.
a chocolate chip cookie, but
Yeah, I can't see the chocolate chip cookie being
Savory
made
food
better
with
by
onion.
much. So yeah.
Open up and see if we can guess it, Dave.
You already showed
That's
the golden
Margaret.
Oreo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, the cookie. Okay.
Daniel's not a fan. Thinks it tastes like dirt.
Yeah, they're very earthy. You have to like the earthy taste.
Brian's
Those
getting some
fancy
biscuits.
desserts.
He's going to have a much better evening. He's going to get some biscuits.
Sure. Happy
I
foraging.
need to start mine. I ate my Oreos. The golden Oreos are the only Oreos I buy because my wife hates chocolate.
Oh.
Yeah,
Huh.
I'm not a chocolate person. That's why I love the
That's
golden
very
one.
bluntly written, isn't it? I don't think he's very happy
Oh.
about the fact that his wife hates chocolate. My wife
Yeah.
hates chocolate.
I don't
Well-
think you can get the golden ones though, as like I don't think you get the double stuff
Yeah,
in
you
golden. You can?
I have seen them.
Um,
I bet you
Daniel,
can on
I think you should
Amazon.
be able to eat whatever biscuits you want, and like your wife can have a different one. It's fine. Go and get yourself some chocolate Oreos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell her I said you should be allowed to get some chocolate Oreos. So
That's
Gareth
what
said,
Gareth does. He has his own stash.
"Yeah, I've got my own biscuits. Nobody's touching my biscuits." I had to do some research. According to David's, is this? Hold on, who is this? This is. I was Pat.
Yeah, it was
Hello,
Pat.
Pat. I had to do some research. According to David's Bagels in New York, a flagella.
Little
I think
Little
it's supposed to be
bagel.
flagel. I think that's an autocorrect.
Very good. Yeah.
A flagel is a bagel that's flattened after it's been boiled and before
Yeah.
it goes into the oven.
That's what's
Yeah, I
great
didn't-
about
I
it, because you
didn't
get.
think it was cut out though.
She says it has fewer calories and carbohydrates. It feels like you're not eating as much because feels like there's not as much bread. Let me just pull up a picture.
I
Perception.
linked them to, like every bagel article and flagel article. Like,
Oh, Brian saw a video of an eelmongers. That sounds horrific.
welcome to vegan life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no biscuits, only whiskey.
Here you
Oh
go.
wow,
There's a perfect picture
Brian's in trouble.
of the difference between a stack of bagels and a stack of flagels.
They're
Oh my
flat.
God, they're like bagel chips.
Yeah.
Kind of, but they're still moist and
So
fluffy.
soft.
They're
Okay.
not fluffy.
I don't know.
It's fluffy.
I think I'm gonna
Come
stick
on,
with bagels. You have
a
not
bagel
converted
crust.
me.
Have you ever
Okay,
had a
but
bagel
not to-
crust?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you mean not like toasted?
Okay,
Yeah,
this is the
they're
kind that
not
made me
hard
laugh.
and toasted. Yeah, these are like
This is my
they're
favorite
still-
cooking show.
what?
This is my favorite cooking show.
See, now I think Margaret didn't believe me when I told her we spend like the majority of the time
An hour
talking
on
about
biscuits.
food. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't want to, but we just do, don't we? We just do. It just
See?
happens.
Now you get it.
Yeah. We'll have 5 minutes till the end and we'll go, so what are you all reading? Could you imagine how much fun this could be if I started typing Scots? Yes, do it, Jenny. And then what happens is Margaret will be like, oh yeah, I could actually be writing like that. Why am I writing like I've been writing?
I could.
But it'll be a different accent, like different parts of Scotland, different accents.
Yeah, it's true. Where's Jenny from?
Yeah, Jenny, tell us which part of Scotland you're from.
Shall I let her in? I can do
Table
that.
with the whiskey.
Brian's got the whiskey.
Fair. Nice.
Well, that was a while ago. Somebody go out and buy.
Olive's doing a lot of scratching at the doors because she doesn't like that Holly took her seat for the show.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's that's pretty bad, isn't it? Just like stolen one of the co-hosts.
So you can see what. All right, you know what, Brian? Maybe stay tuned. Maybe in the next episode there'll be a flag. Actually, I don't know if we can have. Are we making?
What are we going to do next week? Because are we going to talk biscuits for an hour with this guy that is like from Hollywood?
Look what came today, Gareth. Gareth, look what came literally today.
What?
Oh, whoa!
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the time to say to everyone, right? So you've got it. Is that the 3rd edition?
This is the 3rd edition.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark.
So I've got a second edition over there. I've been using it while I've been doing my videos. So I've done 18 videos now. 19 videos. I've done 19 videos for my 26 videos of the whole episodes. So yeah, Margaret, we've got a very special guest next week. It's really bizarre. So that book there
Yeah.
is my copy of that is the oldest book I've got. I had it when I was about 13. So I'm like 100 years old now. So it's a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the author is a guy called Mark Scott Zicree, who has got his own YouTube channel. And we were talking about doing a Twilight Zone themed episode of this. And then I just sent him a message saying, would you be up for being on our live stream? And he said, yes.
Yay. That's
So
awesome.
So we are going to have Mark appearing on our show next week. So this was the week, because normally it's every 2 weeks, our show. But because his secretary said, let's do it on the 4th, we were like, all right. And I looked at his resume, looked him up on IMDb, and he's written for Babylon 5, Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine,
Nice.
Sliders.
Babylon Sliders, He-Man, wrote loads of episodes of He-Man, and My Little Pony as well, Dave. So something to get excited about. And the
Very
real
cool.
Ghostbusters, wrote loads of kid stuff.
Fortunately, I don't have to do any homework for that. I'm all boned up on My Little Pony. I'm good.
But I can't get over the fact he wrote Far Beyond the Stars. If you guys know anything about Deep Space Nine, and like Far Beyond the Stars was such a brilliant anti-racist episode. It was amazing. It was like, so the captain was a black guy, and in this episode, he had this sort of dream where was it dream, something like that? Or no, I think the episode is like the concept is that Deep Space Nine is a dream by this science fiction writer in the 50s, who's a black science fiction writer for a magazine, and he has to pretend that he's white because of the nature of the 50s. And it really explores it really well. There's an amazing speech at the end done by Cisco, Avery Brooks' character. And it's such a powerful episode. And he wrote that episode. I couldn't believe it. It was like, what the hell? So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that next week.
Very cool.
So yeah. So I'm glad you got the book, Dave. So you're going to be an expert by next week, right?
Oh my God, I got so much homework to do in 1 week. I mean, fortunately, I already know some about a lot of this stuff, but especially My Little Pony. I played a lot of My Little Ponies in my day. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I might find an excuse to watch lots of He-Man episodes.
That's true. Bro, what do they call? What do they call them? That's the whole thing. The bronies. You know about the bronies? Maybe they don't have those in the UK.
That would
The
be
bronies?
nice.
Are we back on food again?
No. This is My Little Pony related. There was a whole movement of older guys, like middle-aged guys, whatever, that are really
middle-aged
or younger. Yeah, just like adult men that are really, really into My Little Pony.
Like really,
which is cool, you know, like everybody to each his own.
Yeah, no judgment. No judgment.
They have conferences and they cosplay as My Little Pony characters.
Some interesting directions.
Yeah.
There's a thing in there. I don't know about the pony thing, but I know there's a fairies thing, isn't there?
There's a fairies version.
Furries.
Fairies. People who get turned on dressing up as bears and cats and dogs and fairy animals.
It's like OG Rose. Well, Sam did, to be fair. Sam ruined OG Rose by discussing those at one point.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'll say on the matter. They can be very traumatizing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful world, isn't it? Lots of interesting characters out there. So yeah. What's this? Looks like Pat knew someone called Flagle.
Someone named Flagle.
Flagle.
Wrote an article about bagels for this. Is that true?
Wrote an article about bagels. So Flagle wrote Flagle.
Guys, I think we're gonna need that link to that article, Pat.
Yeah. And we will analyze it over the week. Pour your dram, Kelly. Nice. I apologize for not. Oh, this is Holly. I have a gas fire. No, a coal. What? Go on, Margaret. You read that one.
All right. I have a gas. Wait. She didn't write it on, Scott. So let me try. Let me try. I hear gas fire, no a coal. My lum can I reek? There you go.
This is great. We should. I'll tell you what, Dave, because it's so much fun hearing people doing accents. We'll just get Mark to do like a Jamaican accent or something next week. That'll be awesome.
You'll get cancelled for that.
Oh,
Jenny says, haha. Kelly says, thanks, Brian. I imagine you sampled some when you went to Scotland. Yeah, I did. Onions would not make
yeah,
a
I can
peanut
see
butter
that.
and jelly butter.
That's true.
I can
That's
see
true.
that side to the argument.
Yeah, I was thinking savoury sandwiches, but yeah, you guys have a lot of sweet sandwiches.
Yeah.
I think you confused onions for cheese and
There you
bacon. Hey, it's beautiful. I think we have more distilleries than Starbucks.
Huzzah! Not a Starbucks.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing, is it? The street tours are on the bucket list, but with less travel, I'm just hitting my Nova Scotia wintries. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Wineries. Wow.
Yeah, wineries, yeah. Flagel.
I like flagella. I like floating like with my flagella through the protoplasm.
Wait,
of
how
the
do they? How do they,
cytoplasm.
wait, how do they do it, Margaret? How do they do it?
You're lucky I remember this from high school biology. I'll just leave it at that.
Except for calories, Pat. Someone sat on a bunch of bagels. There's a lot of drama going on in Aaron's house. He's giving us like a commentary about what's happening. Aberdeen. Oh, there we go. That's where Jenny's from.
Oh, okay.
I should visit.
Aberdeen. I'd like to go to Aberdeen.
Bagel crisps.
Jim says, I used to work at a place that made bagels.
Slicer.
Nice.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Okay, so Jim, did they have flagels there? I mean, he's in Canada, so probably no flagels, but
I mean, this has got to be a new thing, right? This isn't like a regional thing. This is a new marketing kind of ploy.
I mean, it's not that new.
No, is it older than the cruffin? Like the whole croissant. Everyone's trying to
It's-
do like croissant
Yeah,
mashup.
it's a New York thing.
It's just silly.
I never heard of a cruffin.
Okay.
If they start issuing plagels, don't eat that. Sounds horrible.
Flagels.
That's good. That's good. Oh,
That
What
looks
did
like
they do with
that
the
cruffin looks
holes?
like a Cinnabon.
no.
That's a philosophical question from Daniel. What do we do with our holes?
Oh.
Jim.
There was a joke by Stephen Wright. You know Stephen Wright, the deadpan comedian.
Yeah.
And he's like riff off all these like one-liners. And he said at one point, "I've lost a buttonhole." He also said, "It's a small world, but wouldn't want to paint it." So it's brilliant. Flagels have more horizontal space on which to build a sandwich. Second source says they are not low in calories or carbs.
1993.
People are probably looking this stuff up.
Original
I
flavors.
don't think, Dave. I don't think we should talk about books. Yeah, this is where it's at. We should talk about bagels every week. Do you still have all your fingers?
Bagel slicing. Valid question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holly, Margaret Holly found that the flagel was created
93?
at Tasty Bagel in New York in 1993.
I found the
Wow.
whole story.
Wow. Okay. All right.
should
I
hit
stand
Tasty
corrected.
Bagel,
I
yeah.
stand corrected.
Yeah. It's going to be cool talking to Mark next week. So you don't want us to talk about bootmakers. Well, that's the thing. We probably will end up doing it, but he might just go off. We'll go, oh, we've lost him. The brony thing is a foreign.
Brony
Okay, don't admit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry. I messed up.
There's an episode of Bob's Burgers where they parody bronies.
Oh, funny. Okay.
Dave's very proud of his brownies.
What's that?
Next week, apparently, we're going to talk about stew and casseroles. That'll be interesting.
See where it gets you.
Different types of steak. I don't think brownies are safe for work.
He's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
Stew and casseroles it is. You could be pranking us for the entire thing. We're trying to stay on the subject, and you're like making those comments, making us talk about something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a great one.
Bye, Elaine.
Bye, Elaine. See you later from Jenny. Bye, Elaine. Have the Smithsonian link, but I don't think YouTube is letting me send it. You have to have a wrench. YouTube chat's comments really hate links.
Yeah. Hey,
that's the last
totally
comment.
off topic, but real quick, have you guys noticed this with I only recently learned that I was like leaving comments for people. I was like, somebody would like really be interested in the book, and I'm not attached to it, right? So I'm like, if you want it, just email me your address, and it's yours. I'll send it to you, right? And I never hear from them, right? And I'll be like, oh, that's funny. Look like, and then I'll go back and I'll see like my comment is gone.
Yeah.
And what I realized over time was anytime I said something, not anytime, but a number of times where I had said something about like email me or message me or something like that, those comments disappeared and the people
Which
never
is
got
fair,
it.
because that's a lot of spam.
No.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, I wouldn't put, my email's like in my profile. I don't put an email address in the comment, like just the words email me or message me. We're flagging it and getting it deleted.
Dave, have you done a thing? Because I like MJ says to me that I need to do a thing like an Amazon wish list thing. Do you do that on yours? Have you got like a kind of an invitation for people to send you stuff?
No, I mean I have my private one. Just keep a track of all the different books I want to get.
Yeah.
But I haven't made a public list.
I have one. Nothing ever happens with it.
Nobody ever sent it.
Right. So it doesn't. When I say, I just it's I don't know. It seems weird to me to go get me stuff, but MJ always has a compelling case.
I thought about it. I mean, somebody told me to do it once, and so I thought maybe to like. I don't want people to feel like they have to send me things, but some people, a lot of people, I think, really want to. They just really want to, just as a way to say thanks, or I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna at some point I need to get around to doing it, but I'm gonna do the buy me a coffee thing because I can relate to that because it's like when I'm gigging and someone buys me a drink when I'm like in the break between the two sets or something like that. So I can relate to it from that point of view. So I'll probably do that at some point.
Yours would be more like buy me a biscuit, but I get you. I get you.
Well, yeah. Buy me a pack of biscuits. Mind you, that'll only be like £1.50 or something. So no, buy me 7 packets of biscuits.
Packets of biscuits, not even biscuits.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you can't buy a biscuit, can you? Well, I suppose you can buy a pack of 4. You can't buy one
in the
biscuit.
US. You can in the US, and you know what? They're like this big, so you can buy a biscuit at a time, a cookie at a time, and they could be really expensive.
Go to a fancy store.
Yeah,
that's an American thing.
Sorry.
Like,
I like the fancy baked goods. It's part of my brand. I'm not going to apologize. Yeah.
A brief history of the bagel. I sent a link to Gareth through Voxer.
Thanks.
I'll read that out next time. If I tell you what, I've got Voxer here. I can read that out in a minute. So I will find it in a moment. Leslie's here. Hi, Leslie.
Oh, hey, Leslie.
Thanks for popping in. That's awesome. We have just talked about bagels for an hour, I think. So that's what you've missed.
Unexpectedly.
There will be pranks.
Nobody wants to. That's fair enough, Daniel. Fair enough.
The mailbox will fill up with flagels.
Yeah.
Brody.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Fair. All fair.
Approve the comment section. So, okay. So Kelly's suggesting you might have had it, but you had to approve the comment, maybe.
That's not why. People cannot post links in the live chat unless they are approved moderators. And to do that, the creator of the channel or another moderator has to give them that power in the back end. So if you have not done that, Gareth, then no one can post links in there unless they have a little wrench next to their name.
Margaret, that's a very technical thing to do. So that's not happened.
Okay. All
I didn't even
right.
let anybody else do it. That would have been nice to let someone else do it, wouldn't it? Turn us all into moderators. See, like, it's all kicking off. Look, it's like the Russian Revolution all over again.
Yep.
Uh,
I like it.
So, and on that note, actually, I was given. I'll talk about books for a second. Jesus Christ!
Books.
I was given Diary of a Madman by Gogol. Has anyone read that? It's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be a bit mental.
I like that.
So,
All right.
Are you reading that now?
Not now. Now I'm reading Gods of Mars, and then I'm gonna read Children of Men, and then I'm gonna read this. So, but it's their short story, so I might dip into it as I'm reading Children of Men. But yeah,
Okay.
I've got to read Children of Men because we're gonna do some live stream about it, and I think they're waiting for me. Have you ever, you know, that Cage of Souls? You know, that thing about you waiting for me to read something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna read that soon. I'm gonna read Cage of Souls soon.
You know what's gonna happen? It's now officially been a year that I've been waiting for you on that. And I know you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna end up reading it without me. Is what's probably gonna happen. Just like that.
And what I'll do is
That's
I'll
why-
read a couple of chapters, then make sure that you're not ahead of me, and then I'll go, I'm reading it now, Dave.
That's why
And
I
then
don't
you'll
know if you
finish it
noticed.
today.
I don't know if you noticed, but every time you mention Bradbury, so for everybody that like Gareth's doing this like long read all the Bradbury stuff. Every time you mention a Bradbury book, I leave a comment that says, "Don't forget me when you get to Wicked with This Way Comes," because I know you're gonna forget me once you get to
that. Forget what? What?
I have it sitting there on my shelf, literally right next to Cage of Souls.
It's about, I don't know, 5 or 6 books away, so it's a little while to go. Found out 451's the next one, which would be awesome. So that's the next Bradbury I'm going to read. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing a video on that. I read it years ago, but it'd be nice to do it knowing I'm going to do a video on it. But Something Wicked This Way Comes is amazing. So I love, I can't wait. Have you guys read Something Wicked This Way Comes?
I don't think so.
No?
It's really cool.
I've seen a really bad TV adaptation when I was a kid. So that's what's in my head, but like it definitely needs to be replaced.
Well, Disney made a film of it with Jason Robards in it and Jonathan Pryce. I don't know if that's what you saw.
Maybe. Yeah. Really young.
Yeah.
I don't really remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it was back in the 80s. Yeah. But that's great. Really, really great. Yeah, it's my favorite Bradbury book. But no, I'm not gonna. Well, because Tchaikovsky's about to release 2 books. Apparently, one of them sounds really, really good, and it's about a robot. It's apparently got similarities. There's like a cross between Sea of Rust and Murderbot Diaries. The book that Adrian Tchaikovsky is about to release. And I was told about that today by a friend at work, and I thought, well, I better read Cage of Souls quickly then, hadn't I? It's on my radar. It's on my radar. There's so much time in the day, man. Kay says, "Oh, the chaos."
What chaos?
Risk.
I think he's talking about who sent me. Oh no, it's Pat. Yeah, so I can read out the bagels thing in a minute. Good Lord, I enjoyed Children of Men, but will admit that I prefer the movie. I love the movie. I think the film is fantastic. So I'll probably have that in my head when I'm reading it, I imagine. But
sorry, I just read Brian's comment.
Got to drop out for a while. Came in for the biscuit.
Oh, Brian. Oh, Brian. An elevated tone. Oh, but he did say rubbish. He did say rubbish.
This article is why some people prefer flagels to bagels.
Huh.
That's what a flagel looks like.
Okay. It looks like a bagel to me.
Didn't go through.
They look like bagels to me, but you know,
they're flat. They're sad bagels. They're sad bagels.
But that's why I said badly cooked bagels, right?
They're sad. They're boiled
Sad
and flattened.
bagels.
It's sad.
Yeah. I would be sad if I was boiled and flattened as well.
Yeah.
There's a short story there. With the book talk, we all know where we're winding down by, right?
Oh
But
my
we
God.
were going to talk about writing, weren't we? Because I pretend I'm a writer, and you guys are writers. So
You didn't show
we're
your
gonna talk
books,
about
Garrett. Show
my
your
book. Well, I've got 3 here. So there's the poetry books over there, which I am very proud of, but it might be more interesting to show these ones. So they got the first one I released, which was a 10 Tales of Transformation, 10 stories. Some very serious, some very silly, and then my 2 novels. So Out Among the Ice Beacons, which is about 3 teenage boys who end up on another planet, and
Ooh.
they upset the way they understand their religion. Kind of says that there's no life on another planet, and these 3 people from Earth turn up, and it's all, and one of them gets imprisoned because of it, and the other 2 are just surviving, kind of thing. But yeah, it's spoilers. I won't say anything more. And then and then there's the last one, which is probably my favorite. And it's one of those things you couldn't recommend it to everybody because it's so silly. But it's a comedy, science fiction, music, business parody.
Nice.
Called the Brownie Up Gang, and the band's called the Brownie Up Gang. That's the band, and they're all from different species. And they got a 3-headed singer, so you got 3 bar harmonies.
Nice.
You got a drummer that plays the drums. He's like a symbiont, and he plays himself. That's how he creates the drums. Yeah, it's kind of I know it's a bit Python-esque, I guess, but with loads and loads of references to things I've experienced as a musician. So. Sound checks and tours, album releases, all that sort of stuff is kind of parodied in it, but in a science fiction setting. I mean, the album that they're promoting is called Wet and Tasty, so it's very silly.
I think I know someone who that would be perfect for, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sadie Estrada.
Makes me think of
I've got a problem with so I don't know if you guys know Dave Przetsky. He appears on the chat a lot. He's become a friend, and he bought my books. And he sent me a message saying, "Gareth, I've looked at your books, and your formatting is appalling." So, yeah, I mean, I'm learning as I go, so I'm doing this all myself. So yeah, try not to judge it by the formatting.
What did you say it makes you think of, Holly?
There was a book I read when I was a kid that was called Worst Band in the Universe. And it was about like a touring band, and they were all aliens and stuff. And it came with
cool.
and everything. I loved it. It was great.
I thought I was being original. Damn.
I mean, this was a kid thing, but it was fun.
I doubt it had like a symbiote playing himself.
Yeah, so. And when you talk about symbiotes playing themselves, and he talks about his personal experience, that concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a bit where just to kind of give you another sense of the humor, there's a bit where they have to do a concert on an ice planet, and all their gear freezes up.
Hazards of the biz.
Yeah. Hazards of playing on an ice planet.
Margaret, how long have you been writing?
11 years now.
Okay.
Professionally, I mean, writing and publishing. Yep.
Right.
So that's your full-time job. You've not had to.
I have 4 part-time jobs, Gareth. So no, it's not my full-time job, but I don't hold a full-time job. Yeah, writer life. Exactly.
So do the other jobs relate to writing and publishing?
Well, I do social media marketing for an audiobook magazine. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's linked. Yeah. That's cool.
I do not I do not cut bagels. I used to work in a bakery, but we did not do bagels. We did French bread. Yeah, yeah.
Jenny's calling my books cultured. I love it. Thank you. That's probably the nicest thing you can say about my books. Although, to be fair, some of it's serious, but a lot of it isn't.
So, Holly, are you writing any fiction, fantasy, non-travel writing stuff while you're traveling around? Since it's such an extended period, are you finding time to
always?
carve out?
Although I see
You're
that we're frozen here,
Yeah.
but we can still hear you.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Do you want me to? Yeah. Do you want
What
to
do you-
answer, or do you want me?
I
So
mean,
this happens. This happens once every show, and I have to
Okay.
disconnect and go back on. So you can either say it while you're frozen, or you can answer it when we come back.
Well, I think it's at a question. It's a good point to leave and come back because we're
Okay.
at a solid point. So I'll answer when we come back.
Let me. I'll be right
Okay.
back, Gareth.
Okay.
You look like ventriloquist at the moment.
Yeah. There you go. Magic. You're doing magic.
Okay, so I'm going to look out for them coming back in because that'd be awful if they're sitting there for ages going, why won't you let me in?
Yeah.
So then they come out.
Meanwhile, I have another thing of biscuits down below if you wanted to show. This is my UK choice. You wanted to share that?
Well, you've written another comment,
No.
or
It's a camera feed. So if you go down where we are below and you click on add, I've got two Margarets. If you click on the other Margaret,
oh really? Oh yeah.
I've got a
Whoa.
photo of caramel shortcake bites, which is like millionaire shortbread, but in a bite by Thornton's.
Oh,
and I was like,
nice.
yes, sign me up. They were delicious.
Yeah, I like that. I really like millionaire shortbread. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
it's lovely. You've made me do something really clever on the screen. I feel like I've just like grown up a
There you
foot.
go. You should just hire me, Gareth.
Can you make me do clever things?
I just
So
did.
I'm gonna try and. So if I do that now, hold on, remove from the stage.
Yep, there you go.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
No, stop.
So how did you do that? What did you created a? How did you
So
do it?
down below, there's a little thing called present that looks like a little presentation icon. I just clicked on that and shared something on my screen and just waited for the opportunity to spring it on you and make you share it.
Genius,
Ages ago.
absolutely. Genius. That's awesome. So because that might be worth doing with Mark next week with his book. Yeah. Yeah. They're just glaring at us now, Daniel
Yeah.
says. Everyone needs a food cam. Okay. So let's have a look.
There they are.
You back? You all good? You guys?
No, it's very quiet.
No, we can, I got it. I got to turn up the thing again, maybe.
We can hear you.
Can you hear the people sing?
Just a little.
If you're talking to
Oh,
us, we
no!
can't hear you. Hold on one
Oh
sec.
no. Holly heard me.
It's worse than before.
Wait.
Oh, output, wait.
Yeah, because it's on.
This is amazing. It's like watching like the backstage operations.
Oh,
at,
whoa.
I was on the wrong output the whole time, Dave.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, time to answer the question. What are you writing, Holly? Now that your mouth's full. Sorry.
Dave has settings up. 1 second.
Oh my God! The whole time. The whole time.
That sounds like a meme.
Oh.
Okay, what am I writing? Well, I'm writing Sinterra, which is the fantasy epic I've been writing since I was 13 years old.
Okay. Yes.
When we talk about like writing professionally, I guess I started writing, like full novels in 2020. So like recently, even though I've been writing forever, but I mostly did visual arts and like graphic novels and stuff. So I switched fully to novels in 2020, and I put out one just to get one out there. And now I'm going back to Sinterra now that I know that I can actually finish something. and I need to finally finish it. It is technically finished, but it's in the like revision and editing phase. But with this one, I want to get beta readers and stuff, so it is going to take a while to get out there. And it's a sort of alternate universe fairy vampire amalgamation.
Right.
And in tandem with that, I'm writing a thing called Eternity, which is in the same universe, but it's in the Earth realm rather than the Sinterra realm. So they're like same universe, different area, different planet. And that one is based on a RPG that my friend Jessica and I started when we were 14 years old.
Nice.
And if anyone's visiting from my channel at all, this is the one I refer to that is literally over 9,000 pages long. So I've been taking this
Oh my
RPG and
Wow.
finding all the like good points and turning it into a real story. The coolest part about that, though, is that Jessica and I were, mainly out of contact. Like we were a bit in each other's social media periphery for the last like 5-ish years. And in my travels, I got to visit her and we reconnected. And now I've got her in my like editing document and she's leaving comments. So we're sort of
that's so
writing together
cool.
again, which is really fun. So
That's
I have
great.
those two projects on the go, and I really need to finish them because they've been a long time in the making. They're kind of my writing babies, and then I can move on to other things and sequels, etc.
Right.
The cool thing, though, is part of my Europe travels are related because in Sinterra, one of my characters starts out moving to a fort near Galway. One is in Paris, and another one is in Rethymnos in Greece. So I've been mainly looking at, maps and articles and stuff like Google Maps and walking around. And I'm actually going to go there and experience the places. So I'm extremely excited about that, especially the ones I've been writing about without really knowing them since I was like 13 years old. So that's going to be very interesting.
That's amazing.
So you're going to Greece
cool.
to kind of walk around, or you're just using Google?
Oh no, I am going to go to all those places so I can actually see them, even though they're not like they're like in the first part of the book, so they're not the entire thing. But I have been writing about them and thinking about them for so long that I just want to go there and see it in person.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah, that's
awesome.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, really, really cool. I'd love to go to Greece. My daughter's got well into Greek history because of reading first Wolf's Den, and then a bunch of other kind of books that are kind of related and like modern retellings of old Greek stories. There's lots of that going on at the minute, isn't there? So she went to Greece last year and visited the places that she'd read about, and she loved it. So yeah, she went to Pompeii as well, which is obviously not Greece, but yeah, that was cool. So similar kind of thing. Yeah. Is Wolf's Den set in Pompeii? Have I got me confused? Is Wolf's Den set in Pompeii?
I don't know that one.
I don't know it either. Sorry.
Elodie Harper, I think. I don't know. I might have got confused. Actually, I think it's Pompeii. Yeah. So there we go. But it's cool to visit the places that you're setting your stories in, isn't it?
Yeah, it just adds that extra layer while you're writing, I think. And I'm sure I'll get inspired to write other things that way too.
Yeah. Yeah, I visited all the star systems that are in the books.
Nice.
Went to the frozen planet.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, it's well cold. It was.
Find any barbarians there, Gareth?
Well, I tried not to stay. I only had a t-shirt on. I was freezing.
Is that a reference to that Ice Barbarians?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think everyone got it.
Have you read those?
No.
Oh.
I want to at some point, but no.
I feel like I need to try one just because.
Right? Maybe Garbaga.
Gareth's been silent. I think maybe he read one.
I'm going to read the CB radio one at some point. The one that's going to different, being sent to different houses. I think I'm going to get that one.
I was going to ask, is that going to you next? I have it.
I might be. I think I've put my hand up for it. So I think, but it's in America now, isn't it? So
I have it. Yeah.
You've got it.
It's with me. Yeah.
Oh.
I just started it.
Yeah.
Is it really good?
Well, I literally just started it, so the cover's really good. I mean,
but we have to talk about locations. Did you actually go to the River Styx while you were in your sick bed.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I literally went there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came back.
Down the sub. What?
I'm glad you came back. Yeah. Jenny's saying, yeah, it's set in Pompeii. Yeah, so that was I was just I was a bit distracted by my own imagination for a moment. Yeah, Pompeii. So yeah, but I think it's interesting because there's a lot of pressure for you guys to kind of depict the place correctly, isn't there? Do you think or not?
Depending on your genre, perhaps, because I think
Yeah.
if you're into like, fantastical, you want to get the right vibe for your thing, but no one can tell you it's wrong because it's out of your imagination. Whereas historical places, I think they can say, no, this isn't really like what it's like.
There were
at
no
all."
dragons in Ireland.
Right.
So
Were
far-
you there?
Well, like with Centera, I'm writing in the modern day locations. So I've yet to actually put that out. I don't know what people are going to say, but I would assume if I am writing about someone in London and I get it wrong, they might point something out to me since it is modern day.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
depends
But
on the
yeah.
era, I would guess.
But you can get someone from London to read it, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I do remember a friend. I don't remember the particulars, but it was I do remember a friend writer that had been writing a book and then went and visited the spot. It was like a spot in New Jersey, and they finally went to that town, and it was something. Then they put a comment on social media about that they had gone there, and they were like, who knew that you couldn't? I forget what it was, but that you couldn't see such and such from there because there was a wall there. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
the
see, I don't want to get
scene
in
that they
that
had written,
situation.
like you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you wouldn't know if you're just looking at Google Maps, would you? You wouldn't know what you can actually see.
Right.
Yeah, funny, isn't it? Yeah, but like you said, you're covered by the fact that it's not realistic, so you're all good. I really like the Rivers of London series, and part of the Rivers of London series attraction for me is it's in London and there's lots of references to
Yeah.
different parts of London, and I think
Yeah.
that's really cool because I love
That is
London.
really
So
cool.
yeah, and you can tell that Ben Aronovich.
Arnovich.
He loves London. He lives there, and
Yeah.
you can tell that you can the affection he's got for the place is like on the page, isn't it? Which is cool.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Well,
Jenny says that's like claiming. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, my novel that I want to start after these two that I really need to finish is based in Montreal, where I've been living for a decade now. And I'm very excited to get to that one because my other channel is called Haunted Montreal, where I translate our blogs from the creator Donovan King in Montreal. He does historical stuff with ghosts. And I relay the blogs in video form. So I've learned so much history and I've been around the city so much. And that's been really inspiring. And I'm so excited to actually like write a novel within that. So I'm trying to finish these and just get there because that's going to be really interesting. And with that, like accuracy is going to matter a lot.
Right.
Yeah, but hopefully that'll be easy if you do that, wouldn't it? Because you're there and you've been there for a long time, and
that's the thing. And like there's the love for the place too, right? Because like my hometown I do not love at all, so it's nice to be in a city. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Do you live in Montreal now?
Well, I don't live anywhere right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right now I live in Dave's basement.
She lives in storage. Yeah.
It's a finished basement.
Right, but it sounds like she's going to be there for a while, Dave. Do you know that that's like, I'm living there? So
Yeah.
get used to that.
No, my place where I return to is still Montreal. Yeah.
Right.
And then that's So Jenny said that's like claiming Nessie isn't real. I'm offended that people disbelieve of her. Does inaccurate historical fiction bother any of you?
Yeah.
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 It bothers me, but that's like I always read non-fiction in history and I studied history. So when people do like films and that adaptations, like Napoleon apparently is like totally inaccurate, the new film and stuff like that, it does wind me up because I just feel like that's a chance for people to learn about history and they're getting something else.
And
They're
the thing
getting
is, the history is exciting enough.
Right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
Why
don't
change
really-
it?
Like you can
Right.
work with what you've got there.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Find the right story.
Yeah.
I mean, they just got to go. Gareth's just got to go watch Time Bandits if they want an accurate history. of Napoleon.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a great line that he says in that he says he says that's what I like, little people hitting each other. That's one of the things he says. Ian Holm, isn't it? Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, we last week our homework for last show was to watch Labyrinth, Time Bandits, and Willow.
Oh, I've watched 2 of the 3.
Which of the 2 you've seen?
Labyrinth and Willow.
Same.
Oh, so you haven't seen Time Bandits?
No, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's just-
Well, you're not
it's a
missing
great-
much.
What about Dark Crystal?
Dark Crystal. Yeah, the Dark Crystal's amazing.
Yeah.
That's puppets, right? That's like
Yeah,
Jim Henson.
Jim
It's
Henson,
Jim
like,
Henson.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Labyrinth.
yeah.
Those two.
Yeah, he wants to make an entire feature film with just puppets.
Yeah.
That was his remit for Dark Crystal.
I have a Labyrinth tattoo. It's my thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
See,
well,
I
yeah.
do more Lord of the Rings in my fantasy.
I also have a
rather
Lord of the
than-
Rings tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
I
you
love
go.
both as
That's
well.
where we
Yeah.
overlap, Hub.
Yeah.
And-
Well, Jim Henson's my kind of all-time hero, so I
Amazing.
talk about him a lot, don't I, Dave?
Fraggle Rock was Henson, right?
Flagel Rock?
Yeah,
Fraggle.
yeah. Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle.
Flaggle Rock.
Flaggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock is,
Come
is
on.
basically they're Muppets with holes in the middle. Fraggle Rock.
Oh my god.
And we're right
Oh my
back
God.
around to furries.
No. Okay.
We should do a special episode on Fraggle Rock. That's what we should do.
Well, it's interesting because Disney Plus has got loads of Muppet stuff on Disney Plus, but they haven't got Fraggle Rock because it wasn't the same company. So it was a separate company, even though it was the Henson team. It was the Umbrella Henson company, but it was a different channel. It wasn't.
It must be a funny comment.
That's really good. Jenny says, "Of course, they're holes. Where else is my hand going to go?"
Oh my god.
Yeah. Muppets with holes. Every Muppet has a hole, and you stick your hand up it. Dave, you stick your hand up their hole.
God.
Aaron says Time Bandits is good. It's great. Did you finish Labyrinth? Oh yeah, that's good. You didn't finish it, did you, Dave?
Oh my gosh, she's calling me out.
You didn't finish.
All right,
Yeah.
so just to be clear, I finished it a long time
Asleep?
ago when I first watched it. I did not actually finish the rewatch yet.
It's only like an hour and a half long.
I know. I just didn't. I started watching. There was other things that was attracting my attention. You know what movie I just saw that I watched instead of the end of Labyrinth, which was so bizarre. If somebody can explain this movie to me, I'd really appreciate it. Was
What?
Enemy by, how do you pronounce it? Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Enemy. It was like from like 2013, I want to say.
I think so.
And it was
Enemy.
like this weird. You would probably be interested in watching it, Gareth, because it was like this weird psychological thing where this guy. So Jake Gyllenhaal, Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
He's like this like mild mannered professor who's living like just like a humdrum life, just like just that's it, just living this humdrum life, and all of a sudden he sees himself in a movie. And so he becomes like obsessed with like, why is he in the movie? So he becomes obsessed with tracking down this individual.
That sounds very Twilight Zone, doesn't it?
It's very Twilight Zone-y, but it's one of those movies like I know all like the potential interpretations you can like just me describing it right now, you can think, oh, like it's probably about this or it's about that, right? The psychological sort of thriller. You know all the possible interpretations that maybe it's supposed to be, but none of them like really made sense by the time I got to the end. And so I couldn't figure out I couldn't
Well,
actually figure
haven't
out
seen
what
it,
was.
but
They leave it
some-
open to your interpretation.
Some films rely on that, don't they? And they don't actually have a point, and they just
Yeah.
rely on the ooh bit of it. And I think they can. Some films can get away with murder on that, can't they? And they don't
Right.
actually know what they want to do, and they go, "That's all right. If we make it really weird, people love it." Isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, I
Isn't it
kind of
like-
loved it. I have to admit.
riding on the Twilight Zone coattails? Isn't that sort of
Yeah,
really
yeah.
weird? People will love it. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of the Twilight Zone episodes had funny endings, but a lot of them did have a very definite ending that you could see that was what they were leading to. So yeah, but you can definitely do that badly. I'm in the process of writing another collection of short stories. So I wrote the story for the Garbology book, which I'm going to include in my next collection as well. And I wrote this other one recently, which is the most craziest story I've ever written. And I think I was definitely affected by reading. I don't know if you've read anything by Hiromi Kawakami. Read anything by her? Anyone? She writes kind of weird stuff. So I ended up writing this very strange story. I think I still had her voice in my head.
She wrote.
So
Heaven?
I wrote that. Eh?
She
No,
wrote
that's the other Kawakami. There's like 2 Kawakamis in the bookshops.
Heaven? Oh.
Miko Kawakami. I think.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. She wrote Strange Weather in Tokyo. I think that's the most famous one.
Okay.
But she's really good. But anyway, I wrote that, and I'm about to write. Hopefully this weekend, I want to write, or at least start to write, a story about a man who decides to go into a shop that sells exotic things to buy a new voice. I want to play around with the idea that he buys a new voice.
I
think
have
that'll be
read
fun.
her.
Have you
You're
read
at the
Kawakami?
Nakano- Yeah, the Nakano thrift shop. I read.
Yeah, I love that book. Yeah. Did you like that?
It was interesting. It wasn't my niche.
Okay. Did
That's
you feel like it was
yeah.
a bit too uneventful?
Yeah, meandering. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
slow-paced.
I used to work in a shop, so I related to a lot of that, and I quite like the characters, so it kind of won it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get why you can easily read it and go, "What?"
I did like several of the characters, especially like the ex-wife or whoever they went to.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was some good stuff in there. It's just like it didn't grip me. So yeah.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
So he's gonna go in this shop and buy a new voice.
Buy a new voice, and then I'm going to kind of play around with the idea that it doesn't work. And it's kind of causing hassle with his friends and family. Just to go and get another one, get a refund, try another voice, and it's all that kind of thing. So should be a lot to write. So it'll be a lot more serious. I know, a lot less serious than the other ones I've written in that. So the 2 I've written so far for this new thing is really horrific. So I want to try and calm down a bit, make it a little lighter.
Yeah.
So just thought I'd share that. You know,
Interesting. I like it.
you guys are thinking, yeah, whatever, mate. We're actually authors. Don't know what you're doing.
I don't know. I saw books in your hand. I would say you're an author.
Right.
Right. Cool. Thanks. That's good of you. There's lots of more books here, but I didn't write these ones. Right, hang on. Like Jenny said, nothing's more attractive than David Bowie in that costume.
The funny thing is, I heard all of that when I was younger, but like that's something I never noticed until I was like in my mid-20s. I was like, oh, that's what everyone's talking about. Oh, okay. Like it never stood out to me at all.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
Me either.
I was just like, oh, right, I guess so. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's like the tights.
You're just the goblins,
as a
right?
kid, yeah, you're not noticing that as a kid. So
Like at all. I don't know. Like I was all about the hair and the makeup.
You haven't seen Gareth in that costume.
Oh yeah. Dave, you're the only one that's going to see those photos, mate. All right, those photos were just for you. You would definitely notice it stood out if it stood out. Yeah. Well, his codpiece stands out, doesn't it?
I was like 8. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not looking for that when you're 8.
I'm
Yeah.
asexual, so I mean, what can I say? I don't care. like
So did you like Willow? Because you said you'd seen Willow as well.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to rewatch that one. It's been a while for that one. Labyrinth I watch fairly regularly, but Willow not in the same way. But I do love it. It's great.
Yeah.
Do you like Willow, Margaret?
I barely remember both of those. They weren't really my shtick. I was really into The Last Unicorn, which is animated
Yeah.
Oh,
That one's beautiful.
for the storytelling and the music and that kind of stuff. So
That was so long ago.
I got the soundtrack yesterday to me.
Do you guys like the Studio Ghibli stuff?
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
I like Totoro.
So, like, Spirited
Totoro
Away.
was- yeah, Spirited Away.
Away.
Beautiful. And also very funny memes of the creator.
Just the animated stuff?
Yeah.
But
Japanese.
it's not
It's very iconic.
Yeah.
That style.
it's like very whimsical slice of life,
Beautiful storytelling.
I haven't seen
coming
it.
of age,
Oh, it's really good. Cat Bus is great.
magical realism.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's really good.
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle, I think, is really good.
Mhm. Mononoke.
Oh yeah, Princess Mononoke.
Oh, actually, this might, I don't know if you find this amusing or not, but little anecdote. So, just mention Howl's Moving Castle. My surname is Howells, and when I asked the staff choir what we should call the choir, someone came up with the idea that we stuck with, which was Howl's Moving Chorus.
I love that.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
The main artist. There are really funny memes about him talking like very depressing stuff.
Hmm.
I'm
I
just
could see
showing the
that.
Miyazaki memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Quite meta.
Um,
Meta memes.
I used to I used to run around hitting people with acorns and turn them into stone.
Oh, childhood.
Yeah.
The weird thing is Jenny's phone's ringtone. That's cool, isn't it?
Oh, wonderful.
That is
Oh,
cool.
really? Yeah, I forgot when we rewatched those things. I forgot how bad. I don't want to say bad, but I forgot how ridiculous Time Bandits was, and I forgot how good Willow was. Willow's definitely worth a rewatch if you haven't watched it recently.
What
It's-
about Legend?
Oh,
Yeah,
Legend's
One
amazing.
that I
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Legends. You got to have a lot of patience from Legend, don't you? It's got no pace whatsoever, is it?
I don't know.
But it looks so beautiful, and I
Is that the
love
one
the
with Tim
film.
Curry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
and a very early Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
incredible.
Crazy.
Margaret
Fantasy-
looks like her
fantasy in the
internal
80s.
temperature just went up 10 degrees.
No.
What the time Tim Curry is starting.
Oh, red.
No, that was when I did the accents. Did you see me turn red when I tried the accents? That was me getting really embarrassed. This is not embarrassed.
No, that's Ridley Scott started his career like pretty early on. He did Alien, Blade Runner, and Legend.
Mm-hmm.
3 films that to start off your career with. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Cult classic.
Yeah, good shout. I mean, look, that's the thing. The 80s had such great fantasy and science fiction films, didn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, I might be biased, but yeah,
No, I agree.
Margaret
Okay.
doesn't think so.
because I made them all.
Book. I'll stick with the book.
I love
Margaret's
that.
in the chat. Hi, Margaret. No, nice to see you.
I read the book.
Every time I
I
watch
did read the
Legend-
Peter Beagle book.
Yeah. Peter Beagle. So that's Last Unicorn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's written
Every time I
Beagle.
watch Legend, I'm worried some white floating thing is going to hit me in the eye.
I remember being this is what happens when we're so old, Gareth. I remember Last Unicorn being out in the movies as a little kid, like just waiting to go see it that evening. You know,
You're not that old, Dave.
I'm old enough
He-
that I was a kid when The Last Unicorn
He
came out.
talks about being old like every day.
I mean, I'm not as old as Gareth, but I'm.
All right, mate. All right. I have a really, really distinct memory. I absolutely love this memory, and I'm glad it's still there. Of walking back from the cinema. So the cinema was downtown, so it was like it would have been like a half an hour walk from the cinema to my house, and right back with my mates. Coming back, absolutely raving and excited and jumping up and down, talking about the fact we've just seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, cool. That I remember as a kid. Yeah. Very much
Absolute
true.
genius. There's such an incredible film. I don't know if you know, but they had made a deal because obviously tons of Disney characters are in it, tons of Warner Brothers characters are in it. They made a deal with Disney and Warner's that Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny would be in the film for exactly the same amount of minutes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. Yeah, and they're in the same scene together. I think that's the only scene they're in. So there's a bit where Bob Hoskins is falling down that cliff, and then Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny are on either side. I think they did that just to kind of appease the different companies, which is really funny, isn't it?
That's one I haven't seen, and I only saw that one once, and I was like very young, so I'd like to watch that one.
Yeah,
again.
me too.
Yeah, it does warrant rewatching. It does work. You know,
Mark,
it's
I
not
don't know
dated.
that it will age well.
No, I think it does. Like, what are you thinking? What, like, plot wise or the
The
animation?
Jessica Rabbit representation.
Oh, yeah, Jessica. Well,
The only female character.
she's not bad. She's just drawn that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, which it's kind of a 50. It's set in the 50s, isn't it? So I don't know if that's the excuse you could have now.
40s, 1940s. Yeah.
Yeah, 40s. Yeah.
I don't know, but was she like meant to represent all women though, or was that just her character? Because
Yeah.
all
She's
kinds of
supposed to.
women, there's all kinds of men.
She's a femme fatale character, isn't she? She's like, and she's kind of she's the character of Red that the wolf in the Tex Avery cartoons always used to wolf whistle and all that, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
she's like
she represents the Tex Avery woman.
like she's a representation of something. She's not supposed to be like filled out and in depth as far as I remember, but I don't know.
No, but there is a character that appeared in a lot of Tex Avery cartoons. That was this dancer that sang, and Droopy and whoever else was like going mad about her. So
Yeah.
it's like I was going to say a live action version of that. It's a realistic woman's version of that. So clearly it was animated, but yeah, slightly more stylized than the Tex Avery version.
Quite.
Betty Boop. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Betty
Yes, Betty
Boop
Boop is also in it.
Yeah, she's in it. She's got some great lines in it actually, Betty Boop. It's a shame that most 80s fantasy didn't do well initially. Or we might have, yeah.
I don't want sequels though. I like them just as they are. I think it doesn't, we're good. Like if someone wanted to do a sequel to Labyrinth, I would not be happy about it at all.
No, I agree actually.
It's like The Crow. We should not be doing anything more on The Crow. The Crow, that was it.
That was
Yeah.
that was a movie that should have just been left alone.
Yeah, I will not watch the trailer. I will not watch the new movie. It's goth sacrilege.
Apparently they're making a remake. They're doing a sequel to I Am Legend, which is hilarious. Because
yeah, that looked
Really?
Now there's so many of the fake trailers out there that I can never be sure, but it looked real.
Fake
That's
trailers.
real?
What's that?
It's when they're fan made trailers. It's like you'll think, this is a trailer, and it's not. It's just made by.
So many
Are they
fans
trying
that
to
trailers.
generate buzz so that they do get a sequel, or what's the point? Is it just like a homage?
It's
I
like
don't
just like a
know.
fan thing.
Yeah.
It's like fan
Yeah.
music videos and
Yeah.
stuff. It's just
Okay.
creative stuff.
But the I Am Legend one, that looked real. I mean, they are doing that, right?
They are doing it. But it's just ludicrous, isn't it? Because for a start, no one's made the book yet anyway. Don't get me started. But the fact that they got a successful Will Smith one, and then they make a sequel of it. What's that?
Oh
Is
my
that a fan made? Is that a fan made trailer?
I don't think so.
Is it the actual trailer?
They're going to use like an alternate ending, though, right? As the starting point, isn't that?
Are they?
I thought
Right.
I heard something.
Weird.
I wasn't even sure it was real.
I
So
mean, they're clearly not going to make the
No
book a
driving.
starting point because the book ends like it ends differently to the film, but it ends,
Yeah, no,
and the film
it's-
ended, so it's a bit
It's
weird.
happening.
Yeah,
Haven't seen it
I've
or
heard
read
it's
it.
happening.
Don't spoil it for me.
I mean, it would kind of have to, right? The way the movie, I won't spoil, but the way the
Mhm.
movie ended, they would have to do the sequel differently, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But then that's another thing. Why you're going to rewrite the ending of the previous one so you can do a sequel? It's just like not do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
this doesn't spoil. It just says Michael B. Jordan is set to star alongside Will Smith. It will follow the alternate ending.
Yeah. Okay. You all right there, Margaret?
Yeah, sorry. I just the headphones are pinching the earrings and stabbing the metal into my neck, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I hope this doesn't affect the sound.
No.
No,
You're
fine.
good. You're good.
That sounds fine. That sounds really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So and
I don't want anyone to suffer doing our show. Yeah, so please be comfortable. Do whatever you need to be chilled out and comfortable. Get whatever you need. Get a drink. You know,
Favorite salad.
take any sharp objects away from your ears. Just relax.
we need to keep your brain safe, Margaret. We
I
need
know.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah. There's another 12 books awaiting to be written. Margaret.
Hopefully. That'd be good. That'd be good. What if that turned out to be true and my life ended after 12 books? This would have been like
Oh my god,
RC.
that would mean that I've got magical powers.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
other magic. Other magic. That's in the title.
That's right.
yeah. I'm referring to my own powers. Yeah, that's what's happening there.
That actually raises a very good question. You know, we do see all the books and we do see all the songs, but what is the other magic?
It's everything else. TV and film.
Video. Video magic, I would say.
It's a perfect title for my channel because it means I can do anything. And I go, well, that's the other bit.
Yeah. Rocket.
What are you doing talking about that? It's in the title, mate. It's the magic bit.
I need to rebrand.
Your foot blather.
Book blather and other shit.
There you go.
Yeah. And other shit. Okay, what's the shit? Well, it's most of my channel, mate. Have you watched it? Daniel's going to bed. So night, Daniel.
Night.
Have a lovely sleep.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do that at some
Yeah,
point.
get better, Daniel. What's that?
Yeah.
Bed.
Yeah. 13
Stay
hour
strong.
tomorrow.
We will defeat them. Betty Boop was in. Yes, she was. Yeah. Oh, that's what you saw. The comment you saw. Yeah. And Pepsi character. Too many
Was it?
sequels.
I think it was you, Garrett, that made me go see. Not made me go see. Made me watch the old Betty. What was it called? The Old Man in the Mountain.
Oh,
Yeah. Rotoscoping. I was talking about rotoscoping because Max Fleischer invented it.
hmm
So that the Old Man in the Mountains, the one. Well, there's a version of Snow White with Betty Boop that's got Cab Calloway rotoscoped,
Yeah.
but the Old Man in the Mountain has as well. Yeah, and I think he sings St James Infirmary in the Old Man in the Mountain. Is that right?
Maybe
Are we frozen or are we just thinking? We're just thinking.
What-
Okay.
You made me the bit you made me go watch was because it was like you made me go watch it because it was like really salacious.
Oh, there's no salacious. Well,
Remember what happened?
Dave, you
Betty Boop's
gotta watch
skirt.
Betty Boop. You gotta watch her.
What happens when that old man in the mountain was a creep? Remember, and the woman.
Oh, yeah. No, there is a. They were a little bit filthy. The animators in the Flash studio. with what
That
they-
was Sarah for it.
yeah.
And then he gets really fresh later. I mean, the really bad thing is with the other woman that's on the mountain, but then he gets really fresh with Betty later too.
Fresh. I have not heard that phrase in a long
Okay,
time.
now you're old.
That's
Dave. Now
Margaret.
you're
That's
old.
an old people. Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
old.
that's
an
an
old
old-
person.
that's like
Dave,
Archie.
I'm getting all excited about the animation techniques and the rotoscoping with Cab Calloway. You're going, yeah, and then there's like a really sexy bit where with this old man, and you're seeing it very differently to how I saw it, Dave. I'm enjoying the animation. You're just looking for the sexy bits.
Oh.
Yeah, there's other things you can watch if you want to look at that sort of content. You know, don't look for Betty Boop, mate.
No,
There's,
no.
there's better stuff out there for that
Black and white old cartoons.
from the 1930s.
Blank hub
But-
search.
But yeah, I think we can say that they had different values in the 1930s, didn't they? So I don't think they were too worried about that
Yes.
guy. Yeah. So, but we can admire the animation, and we can have a lot of sympathy for Betty Boop. Her cartoons, she's always like just going, whoa, 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 because there's so much craziness around her. That's kind of Betty Boop's character in it. Because
Okay.
Max Fleischer's animation was crazy. So.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing this for Brian.
And she had a talking dog. I've not ate much of my biscuits, actually. I'm doing too much talking. Someone needs to take over. I can eat some more
Brian.
biscuits. Oh yeah, we're getting a Beetlejuice sequel. I don't mind the Beetlejuice sequel happening. I think it'll probably work.
That looks pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that looks good. They're doing that properly, I think.
Yeah, I get that impression. So that's all good. And I'm pleased for them because I think they're all affectionate about, all the cast and Tim Burton and Danny Elfman. I think they're all affectionate about that first one.
Mhm.
So they must be enjoying doing it again. So that's nice for them.
I have high hopes.
Stop being interesting.
Yeah,
Margaret,
didn't you know
can you stop being interesting? Yeah, for 5 minutes. Daniel's trying to go, and you're saying interesting things. Omega Man is closer to the book. It is closer to the book, but it's still not that close.
I don't know.
Aaron, I said don't get me started. Yeah, I Am Legend is one of my favorite books. Although Margaret, it is dated. Just before you say it, I Am Legend is dated.
I haven't seen or read it, so I can't have any judgment on it.
But I do love the book though. I made it through a couple of episodes
And which
and
was
just couldn't deal with the character assassinations, and the main characters are horrible. What's this about?
yeah, what were we
episode.
talking about that was a series?
It wasn't an anime thing, was it?
No, Ghibli is usually is
Oh, there it is. It's the Willow. It's Willow. They remade Willow recently.
Oh, the TV show.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. So there's character assassination. So, okay.
See, like it's funny because like when we talk about Beetlejuice, I feel like that entered a particular time where it was sort of okay, especially in this era, to expand on it. Whereas there was that, because it's after, Labyrinth and Willow and all of that. There was just this little bubble of lovely 80s fantasy where, the Last Unicorn showed up and all of those. And those you just can't expand on, right? I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Well, if they did them now, they'd do them differently, wouldn't they? And it's like, because the 80s films had an 80s kind of spirit to them, a tone to them.
Yeah.
We're not like that now. So we'd do it differently. So therefore, they'd be different films, wouldn't they? So
Yeah,
just
I
do
think
something
maybe
new.
it's the technology jump. There's just that difference, whereas Beetlejuice doesn't really have that same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but also, I don't know. There's Beetlejuice also does fit weirdly with the kind of like millennial tone of 2024 as well. I'm thinking about my students, and there's a lot of like Tim Burton fans in the students and Beetlejuice fans in the students. They all know it, and it's like it hasn't dated from that point of view. So they all loved Wednesday, and Wednesday is that kind of aesthetic. So I think that's what makes it different to those 80s ones.
How I sneered at that.
What's that?
I'm very picky. I'm sorry.
Oh, Wednesday.
I don't know about Wednesday either. I just know it had a kick-ass TikTok dance. So
Well, okay, that's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
It modernizes it too much, but at the same time, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm not personally going to watch it, but I think it's okay that other people are enjoying it. I just don't think it's quite enough for my, like, now I'll call the age card, my like elder goth status. This iteration of Wednesday is not mine.
Well, it's interesting because I was a bit cynical about it when it came out, thinking, oh, am I going to be happy with it? Because I don't know how much you know about my channel or me, but I'm a massive Addams Family fanatic as well. Charles Adams is another hero of mine. I collect cartoonists, and he's my favorite one. So I'm really into Adams Family and Charles Adams in particular. So I love the original series. I do like the two films with Raul Julia and Angelica Houston, but the series I like most. But I was watching the new series of Wednesday with interest about how they're going to characterize the characters. They obviously invented loads of other stuff about the school that she was at and all that stuff. That was new, so it's fine. But I actually thought they did the family right. Some people moaned that they thought that they didn't like the fact that there was conflict in the family. Say again?
I was just saying people were complaining about Gomez a lot, I saw, which was kind of silly if you look at the original character design.
Yeah, Gomez is the first time Gomez has actually looked like the original cartoon.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I love John Astin, the original Gomez in the 60s. He's amazing, but he doesn't look a bit like the cartoon. So actually, the new guy did look like the cartoon. And I think when people have said, "Oh, they shouldn't have had conflict in the family," because the Addams Family, as a cartoon, they were always really lovely to each other, and the joke was that they were really macabre in their attitude to the rest of the world, but they loved each other. So I get that, but I also get the idea that Wednesday was becoming a teenager, and teenagers obviously typically get a little bit more there's a bit more clash and a bit more independence, blah blah blah. So I think they played with that, and when they were together, they did have that family kind of unity in their conversations and stuff. And Uncle Fester was amazing in it, I thought. So I really liked Wednesday, and I was really cynical before I started watching it. So yeah, from a Addams Family fan, I thought it was really good, and I was even more impressed with the I haven't seen the second one, but the first animated film that came out a little while ago. I thought that was really good, and Wednesday looks exactly like the cartoon version of Wednesday in the animated film.
I think one of the things that's bothering me a bit right now is that Jenna Ortega is now like the only goth actress, just like Bill Skarsgård is the only goth actor, and now I don't want to see either of them in anything.
Yeah, well,
was in like Death Comes to Pemberley, I think. So she's also like crossover from Austin remake. So I mean, she's
getting all the interesting dark roles, and it's like, yeah, I don't dislike her as a person, but I want to see someone else. Like, there are other people who can do these things. Like, I don't want to just see her in everything I watch.
Well, that happens a lot, doesn't it? People get a little bit of fame and then they'll be in a bunch of things for a while. Because that happened to what's her face? Well, who was the female lead in Twilight? What was her name?
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart. She was in a bunch of things for a while, wasn't she? And now people don't talk about her. So
no, they do.
Yeah, they do now. Did you see Love Lies Bleeding? Did you see her new movie?
Now she's a
okay.
It's a slightly different talking.
Right.
All right. Well, certainly people didn't talk about as much as they did when she was in Twilight. So it seems like people get this little burst of fame for a bit. So that might happen with don't know. But yeah, I get your point though. Absolutely.
Was that good? Love Lies Bleeding?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh.
Yeah. I just saw the trailer and it looks pretty epic. That's all.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
I really want to see the film coming out called Civil War.
Oh my, yeah. That looks intense.
It's Alex Garland, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's it about?
Yeah.
It looks like it's a comment on
the trailer in Canada. YouTube doesn't show it up there. It's about it really just extrapolates from the current political division in the U.S. and leads to an actual civil war.
An actual civil war. Yeah.
Like all American stuff in Canada. Yeah. So all the Canadians think that our politics are the same when they're not. No. So I'm sure it's showing. I just don't think my algorithms picked it up yet.
It looks pretty compelling and pretty frightening.
What's
about
it called?
It looks really intense.
It actually happened.
Well, I'm surprised it hasn't yet, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but Alex Garland's really interesting, isn't he? Because he did Ex Machina and he wrote The Beach, didn't he? The adaptation of The Beach, and what else has he done? He's done a bunch of things. So I think he's a good writer. So yeah, I want to see that. I'm sure it'd be uncomfortable viewing, but probably even worse for an American to watch. But that looks really good.
That looks incredible.
Just to note about the comments, I wanted to say hi to Sheraton, another one of our Stygian authors, and they're leaving some pertinent comments about what we're discussing, so I don't want to miss out on them.
Catch up,
Yeah,
Gareth. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get to them. Let's do this. So apparently Nathan says there is a sequel to Labyrinth coming,
Excuse me.
which is terrible. Isn't it?
Bless you.
There have been various little forays into that. One being like in the graphic novel universe, which I don't have as much of a problem with because you can do so much with graphic novels. Like Buffy.
Yeah, there's a lot of graphic novels with Labyrinth. Yeah, they've got loads of that, haven't they?
Different thing, right?
And there's tons of Brian Froud books as well that extend the universe.
Toby.
Yeah.
I love
definitely agree with the lead comic.
Yes.
Oh, did I? Holly, I nearly met Brian Froud. I was so excited with our whole family because we're all of the whole. I've kind of, indoctrinated my kids into loving Henson and Labyrinth and blah blah blah. So all four of us, me and my wife and my two kids, were like so excited to go to this Comic-Con locally in Portsmouth when Brian Froud was going to be there. And we were like, oh my God, we're going to meet him. We're going to talk to him. It's going to be incredible. Blah, blah, blah. I'll take the Goblins of Labyrinth book and we'll get him to sign it. Blah, blah, blah. And then COVID happened.
Oh.
And the Comic-Con was cancelled. And yeah.
He's lovely. Like we would, my parents are in the comic industry. So I grew up like Comic Cons were my summer vacation, like San Diego and stuff. And my mom found out that she was pregnant at a Comic-Con in London when, before Neil Gaiman made it big. She reflects on how he was running around and trying to like shop his ideas around. And so I was very lucky to meet Brian Froud a few times. And like my mom has some art signed by him and stuff. He was so sweet.
Cool.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I a very different story to your mum's got amazing. You must have had some amazing experience in Comic Cons. I did meet Neil Gaiman though because he did like a signing thing when he did a big talk in our guild hall. That was lovely. He stayed there for ages. Well, I was right at the back, and he just like
he's very sweet.
It was cool. Yeah, I had quite a long conversation with him. It was cool. He did an afternoon thing where he opened up a street called the Ocean at the End of the Lane. It's about 15-minute walk. And it is literally a little lane that leads to the Solent, the ocean. So yeah.
Oh, no way.
That's
Yeah.
If you've seen the actual graphic novel of Coraline, which I was actually trying to look for here and I didn't find it. I keep trying to find it because my dad's worked with Neil to do some of his coloring, like in the graphic novel editions. And my favorite was the original Coraline because I got to help him pick the wallpaper in it, and I don't have a copy myself.
That's cool.
That's very good.
It was so much, so much nice when we talk about adaptations and stuff. Like I love that, and I didn't really I haven't actually watched the animated Coraline because I don't like the way the character design was.
Okay, yeah, I love that film, but that's awesome. That I need to look out for the graphic novel. That's so cool.
Yeah, if you can look it up, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm 4 episodes into watching Shogun. Incredible. I might even read it after this. So Kelly's watching Shogun. I've heard a lot about that.
My mom loved that in the 80s.
Yeah, I watched it as I was a kid. Hey, Aaron says he watched Beetlejuice 100 times. It's an amazing film. I loved it. I saw it in cinema more than once, and I was quite young when it came out.
I had a crush on Beetlejuice, and my fiance now is like, Are you okay? What should I be doing? Like, don't worry about it.
Video killed the radio star. Absolutely. They've been messing around with elaborate sequel spin-offs, but I refuse to pay. Oh yeah, that's real. Yeah. Hello, Brian, you're back. Of course, we're still going. This is an awesome chat, by the way, guys. You have been like the best guest ever. So I love it. We are unstoppable. And we're not convinced, Jareth. You clearly have evil powers. Well, it's not just Joe from Book Buds calling me Jareth now. It's got Nathan calling me Jareth as well.
You remind me of the babe.
2 in Aberdeen. 2 in Aberdeen. What time is it now? It's nearly 2 on my clock.
Nearly 2.
Oh, we lose an hour in 2 days time.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't know where that hour's going to go. We gained an hour a little while ago. Don't know what I did with that hour.
This is why I held up the Oreo.
Yeah.
These dirty
Case.
tattoos. What about the damn?
Yeah. What about the damn biscuits? Yeah. That's. Thanks for helping us out with that, Holly.
I don't want him to
Well,
go into
remember
a
to do.
rage.
Yeah. Almost half one, but thankfully I'm not working till Saturday. Also, yeah, it's Good Friday now, isn't it? It is now Good Friday, so
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Well, not here yet, thankfully.
So in about 12 hours? No, about 8 hours time. I'm going to be going to see Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. A film's got to be really bad for me not to like it. I'm really easy to please, so
Supposed to be pretty good though.
I think it will be. I like the last one. I thought it was good. Beetlejuice, spelling in the astronomical way. Interesting.
Yes.
Nice. Bit of class to our conversation.
I brought some other magic, Gareth.
Yeah, some stardust.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Davis was super upset about. Oh, really? So Disney pulled the Willow series.
I wonder why.
'Cause it was
I know they cancelled it, but I'm surprised they took it off. Warwick Davis is a lovely man, and the amount of times I see him, not in person, but on TV, and he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He presents a quiz show over here. So it's a really difficult quiz show as well. It's called Tenable, and it's impossible to win the prize at the end. It's like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're just setting up people to fail. But there we are. He's a nice presenter, and he makes little jokes. So this is for another author from this your book, right?
Yes.
Stitching collection.
Sorry for
Yes.
the- It's for Stygian collection.
Also from
Also from Montreal. Ah, cool. Jenny, Willow got brutally destroyed by critics. Yeah, that's a shame. Because sometimes series need to grow. Do you know what I mean? Like, they might have done a second series that was better, and they just sort of ironed out the things that weren't quite right. So Sheridan recommends Wednesday. So
Okay. I
there
do.
aren't many off representations these days.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do trust Sheraton's opinion.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Good judgment there.
Well, I was definitely going in with a critical mind, so it did impress me.
Yeah, like that's true.
She has equivalents on.
I
Yeah.
don't know though. It just maybe I would have to look into it because I feel like wasn't it kind of a bit more distanced out and stuff, or it might just be how much distance I have from it now. But it just seems like right now we have like bam, 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 a bunch of things that suddenly Jenna Ortega is everything in them. And like I get the popularity, but it's just a little bit like overwhelming when it's a very particular niche, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just for me. I'm not. It's not on my radar, so I haven't seen Jenny Ortega in that many things. But it might be that I'm not aware of all the goth stuff that you're aware of. That you're aware of. There she is again.
We're a very particular community.
Well, that's all good. I do think it's a temporary thing. I mean, sadly, actors and actresses get this moment and they go, "Oh, fantastic! I'm getting to work."
Get that work, baby. Get that green.
Yeah, it doesn't last forever.
I don't like her. I like her. I think she's got a great look for this stuff. So I mean, I can see that, but also it's like.
So Jenny says Neil Gaiman's my second favorite author. I think I'm her first favorite author.
Yeah, for sure.
Neil Gaiman's awesome. I think he's really, really good, and he's an interesting character because he's very he seems to be, what's the word? Considering this day and age where it's like the age of celebrity and people, it could easily go to someone's head. He seems really down to earth and you know what I mean, he's very nice about other people. I loved it when he recently defended Pratchett when there was people going on about him being anti-trans or something, and he was like, he tweeted about it, said, you know, you shouldn't be talking about Terry Pratchett like that. And you know, he's always been supportive of different minority groups in his work and blah blah blah. It's a really cool thing. He, you know, went out of his way to kind of defend.
Neil's always been like very focused on his art and like integrity in that area, and he's done the legwork, and he's met people and, you know, actually communicated in artistic circles and stuff rather than just sort of, I don't know. I mean, I guess in the comic industry you have that, but there are definitely some people in the comic industry who any notoriety has gone to their head and they've become complete maniacs. So yeah, it's very, very nice to see something that is not.
Yeah. Hook and Ladder is all tricked out as part of Ghostbusters promo. They're having a lot of fun with it. I don't know what that means. What's that mean? Hook and Ladder is all tricked out. Does anyone know what that means?
Maybe a shop or something?
Sounds like a pub.
Oh, yeah. Ghostbusters promo is probably a shop, isn't it? Having a lot of fun with it. That's cool. So they've got loads of stuff out for Ghostbusters.
Oh, Firehouse. So like a firehouse that was featured in a.
Oh, nice.
Hook and Ladder 8.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There is the actual firehouse that they film at is an actual working firehouse, isn't it?
Well, I think that's it.
So that might be it. Is it? Is that the actual one? Oh,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That's cool, isn't it? I thought they made some really good decisions with how they carried it on, like having Paul Rudd and then having those child actors.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they made some good decisions. Aaron says that I'm too busy with Betty Boop to watch. Well, Aaron, Dave's the one getting excited about Betty Boop. I was excited about the animation.
No, you're Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah. Jessica Rabbit's over there. I always joke that my daughter was named after Jessica Rabbit. And people go, really? I go, yeah. With Jenny Ortega is a Hook from younger generation. She was before in more family friendly teen TV shows. She's always had a dark humor, some new potential, and boom, the face of horror. So she's kind of bubbling under a little bit, and then she got the role that suited her humor and stuff. Yeah, so she probably says no to a lot of work, doesn't she? Because she wants to keep that vibe going, I guess, probably.
Maybe.
Jenny says unfair. That's very kind of you. But
there you go.
Tolkien. Who's this Tolkien guy? What? Yeah, the Firehouse. This is cool. We're actually caught up with comments. In hindsight, I don't really think of Gaiman as an author, but rather as a storyteller. Doesn't seem to matter what medium he's in. Yeah. He's a really good speaker as well. Like he tells his stories well as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because I was in that talk he did at the Guildhall. I was totally enraptured in what he was reading. Just thought that's really cool. Does he do his own audiobooks?
Sometimes.
Come here.
Yeah.
We're hurting all.
Yeah. There you go. Jenny says that he narrates all his books, so clearly.
Okay.
A lot of them, yeah. I can see that would work really well. I wish I had a better speaking voice for reading my stuff, but I've got to develop that. I can go out and try and advertise it. But do you do like readings, Margaret or Holly?
Sorry.
Do you like go and read in public your stuff?
Yeah.
Not a long time.
We were doing a thing called the Stygian Caravan for a while before we put the collection out in Montreal. One of the things that we're doing, so with Stygian Society, one of our main ethos is that, by authors for authors. So we try to give authors very, very fair representation and involvement in the process. So start totally transparent, author, if we bring on one author, that's 50-50 profits. which is a pretty high rate, and they get to be involved in like every single bit of the process. So like our author right now is approving cover art, approving fonts, that kind of thing, so that we're doing what he wants. And leading up to, we do try to reach out to the city where the author is and like get reading events happening. So we do a lot of event coordination in that area too. So we're working on that in various areas. But yeah, we have been in Montreal and Calgary. So I've done a few of those around, and also in Toronto. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. So you're still pushing the Stygian collection?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a special edition come out at some point. I've been talking to that friend of mine who we collaborated on the RPG. She does sort of artisan bookbinding, so we might have something coming up with that at some point.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, I love it a lot. It's our inaugural thing. It was very important to us, so we're still pushing everything.
You should mention the zine.
Oh yeah, we do have a zine as well, because
It's now the
people.
zine in between.
Hmm?
It's now the zine in between the two publications.
Yeah, so we're putting out 2 zines per year in July and January. And so we actually don't have the theme figured out for the next one yet, but our new our social media sort of community manager, they are going to be managing that. So we have the Stygian zine, and that was started because so many people wanted us to keep up the anthology vibe, because we had this one, it was so much fun, and people saw us like talking about it on YouTube and they wanted to be a part of it. So now we do a zine so that we can keep that up a little bit, even while we're doing sort of more normal publications aside from it.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. I sent you an email ages ago, Holly, actually, about whether you wanted new writers. Do you remember that as well?
Oh, did
Yeah, it was a while back. It was probably, I don't know, about
It's
4 months ago.
very hard to keep up with everything I do.
You did reply.
Okay.
So it wasn't that
Okay.
you didn't. Let's have a look.
I'm looking up your name and I don't see it, but I mean, I do try to respond to everything.
You did
Having Liv
respond,
on
didn't you?
board. Sorry.
You did respond. It was a while back. So yeah. I think you said.
You told
You
me.
said you weren't doing a second collection. So
It's
yeah,
been
Sheridan says that
having,
Mr. Stygian Caravan.
that's how Sheraton and I met, actually.
Ah, cool.
Cool.
But
And Brian says the zine is beautiful.
oh yay! I still haven't seen a physical copy of it because I left to travel after getting our own comps back to the HQ. So I've been telling people if they're not quite right, it's Pay's fault because he did the final sign off. But I haven't heard any negativity yet. So
I bet it's a really cool thing when you're getting the artwork in and you're getting a sense of what it's going to look like.
yeah,
Because obviously that's such a big part of the visual side of a physical book, isn't it? Or a physical magazine.
yeah, and we've been really focused on the art side of things. So like with the collection, as you can see, we had this amazing pen and ink artist from Montreal, Lori Nile, and she did like the spine and everything. And we also had like interior art from her and stuff, which was very, very good. So we're very focused on getting those like little additions. And that, I mean, speaking of Labyrinth, this character is very Jim Henson, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like those guys who are throwing their heads around.
Right.
Yeah. And we try to continue that with everything else that we're doing. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That's really cool. And it's nice to kind of keep the momentum going, as you're saying, you know.
Yeah.
And you got the was it a new book by a new collection by the new author? Was it
Dark Flock, and it's by Matt Pohl. He's put some stuff out previously, short stories and like a novella, and he did bird watching in Korea for like 10 years. So he's lived in Korea. He's been to various places around the world. He has a very fascinating history. And our artist for that one is Nico Rudolph, and he's out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is my hometown. Lots of great artists there. I don't want to live there, but amazing artists, and his stuff is very like graphic novel style. He's a graphic novel artist and does the convention circuit and stuff.
Oh, cool. My sister lives in Winnipeg now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Penny boy, yeah, I love it.
she moved there about nearly 20 years ago. Yeah.
Why?
Now.
Well,
Why?
it's a bit weird because I mean, she's not. I don't want to talk about it without her being here, but she moved to Canada without ever going there on holiday. It was the weirdest thing, but
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's how you might wind up in Winnipeg.
I always imagine you go do a big move like that after going somewhere on holiday and falling in love with it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
she just went. She took her family. She had 3 boys. She took them all over there, and
Wow.
yeah, but she's been there ever since.
And speaking of disappearing acts, that's my segue. I'm gonna have to step out because it's dinner time and this is my last night with my parents before I drive away tomorrow. So I wanted to say thank you, Gareth and Dave, for having me on, and Olive and Ollie for joining me here as the
Great seeing you, Margaret.
Yeah,
No,
thanks.
thank you so much. It's been absolutely brilliant, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to check out your books, Margaret, because I need to read more historical fiction, and I should start with yours.
If I have to stay up really late at night to have you on my channel, I may actually do it. We'll see. We'll see. If I can fit you in mine, like it has to be late, I will. But the time difference is working in my favor, so I'll.
Okay, well, I can be flexible. So if that's an invite, I'd love to be on your channel. So yeah, well, I can work
Sounds
around
good.
you.
He doesn't sleep. If it's 5 a.m. for him, he's cool with it.
As long as I get like about 2 hours every few weeks, I'm all right.
Gosh, vampires, new topic of conversation. Okay, thanks everybody. Good night.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting close to 3 hours, aren't we? So we
and
could.
I got a bus
can do
all
that.
day tomorrow back to Canada, so that's going to be an experience.
Yeah, so you go back to Montreal.
Yeah, I'm going back for 6 weeks. So we're launching Dark Flock in that time. And I mean, my mom's there and my fiance's there. So I thought like it'll be nice to be back for a bit before going elsewhere, and it fits in with launching and everything. So it'll be nice to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you got any plans in the next couple of weeks, Dave, for what you're doing?
I got a couple more college visits with my daughter. Other than that,
Awesome. That's cool though, because you're traveling quite far to do these visits, aren't you?
yeah. I mean, tomorrow we gotta go up. I gotta drop Holly off, and then
You don't sound really enthusiastic.
well, no, they're fun. It's just these are all like overnight ones. You know what I mean? So like,
Well, and he's already exhausted from the week. How many steps was it in New York?
oh my God, Gareth, 31,000 steps we did yesterday. 31.
Wow.
And I got a bum foot still. You
You
know,
did very well.
so like I'm limping around. I was a trooper, wasn't I?
You were
I
great.
was a trooper.
You were great.
Is that why you keep going on about you being an old man? Because of all the steps? Is that what's making you go on about your age?
That's
Because
part
of all
it.
the steps.
Yeah.
Well, he does keep saying to me, like when we were walking, he's like, "Well, you're young, you'll be fine."
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that because you do that, and then sometimes young people are going, "Oh, my feet are aching. I'm knackered. I can't do this anymore."
I have flat feet. I walk a lot, but if I am doing like 31,000 steps in a day, I will start feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think most people can only take so much, and then it's like no more. Yeah.
And so, when do you leave for Italy?
We're going on. Weirdly, we're going on my son's birthday. So we were looking at when to do it, and he was happy to go to actually be on the plane on his birthday. So yeah, we're going on the 10th.
On the 10th. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it should be really cool.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we've had both the kids with us on a international trip to Italy. We've been to Spain with them, but we haven't been to Italy with them both. So that's cool.
That'll be great.
Yeah. And I'm really excited to go to Rome, but I'm the only one that's not been to Rome. So I'm like, I want to go to see the Colosseum, but I think everyone's like, "Oh, I've been there." So I don't even know if I'll see the Colosseum. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. let's have a look at some comments for a sec. Got that one. So Sheraton's saying bye to Margaret. Jenny saying love bye Margaret. Loves going to college visits. Yeah, so yeah, Brian's saying he loves going to college visits. Where have you got to go next? What's your next 2 visits, Dave?
Tomorrow we're going to the University of New Hampshire in New Hampshire. And then we have to go to Rutgers, which is where I went to school down in New Jersey. And then that's it.
Cool.
And that's it. She cut a few out, so those will be the last 2.
So how many is she choosing between?
She's got it down to 5.
5. Yeah, that's interesting. Because in over here, I'm obviously teaching the 16 to 18 bracket, so I help them out choosing the university or doing their application and stuff like that. And they have to pick 5 courses, so they can pick like 2 or 3 courses from one university and 2 from other places, but they advise them to pick 5, and then they got like choice of what they can do.
Yeah.
And I always say to them, you've got to go and visit them. You've got to go and get a feel for the place.
That whole concept is interesting to me because where I'm from, I don't know if I won't speak for all of Canada, but generally in Canada, my experience is that you just go to whatever university or college is in your city. Like that's it.
Oh, really? You don't like travel
or applying. It's just like, okay, I'm in Manitoba. I'm going to go to U of M.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because one of the reasons to go to university here is to move out, to go to a different part of the UK and to leave home.
Everyone just stays home and saves money and goes to university in their city and then eventually moves out.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did you do with the steps, Holly? This is what Steps is asking.
Well, the flat feet got to me eventually, but generally all right. I took a walk today, so I do try to walk like at least an hour every day. So
yeah, that's cool. Brian says thanks.
Thanks,
cool.
Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Rome's incredible. Yeah, I bet it is. We're going to be there for about like an afternoon and an evening. So yeah, I don't know what that will mean as far as what we actually do, because we'll be in the hotel for some of it, won't we? And then we'll go to the place where our family is in the middle of nowhere, and then we'll have a little bit, like a few hours coming back in Rome as well. So I don't know what we can do in that time.
You can squeeze a little bit.
Yeah, I'll try and squeeze what we can out of it. I don't think you can be bored of Rome, even if you've been to. Yeah, well, that's that. I'm hoping that people are up for seeing it again. But we'll see. I'm sure it'd be brilliant anyway, whatever we do. And every time I go to because like Holly, I was saying that I collect cartoonists, which is why I've got this love of Charles Adams stuff. When I go to another country, I always try and find a cartoonist book from that country. So something like I'll try and find something that's theirs. So I didn't find anything when I went to Spain, but I found some Spanish versions of Peanuts. So I've got Spanish Peanuts books.
That's great.
But I try and find an actual Spanish cartoons. Say again?
I was just saying my mom is very big on Peanuts. That's her thing.
Yeah. So it's quite nice to see it. But I try and if I can find something first that's from like a cartoon I've never heard of that's from that country, I'm really pleased. But cool. I know I've had some when I've been to Italy before. I've bought some Lupo Alberto books, and he's like a wolf comic strip. So it's like a souvenir thing because I clearly can't read it because I can't read Italian, but it's just a souvenir thing. But yeah, I always look for that. So have we got any homework for next time, Dave? Well, yeah. Next time's the Twilight Zone special, isn't it?
I already got way too much homework for the next one. I got things to watch, things to read.
Hey, say again?
I got things to watch, things to read. Too much homework already.
Yeah. And it's only a week away, isn't it? We need to tell people again, in case you didn't see the early part of the chat, that next week, we haven't got a 2-week gap for next one. It's a 1-week gap. And we've got a guy who's a very successful screenwriter. He's got a channel. a YouTube channel called Mr. Sci-Fi. So if you check his channel out, he knew Ray Bradbury, which is so we're gonna have to talk to him about Ray Bradbury as well. Yeah, he wrote for Star Trek, two different series of Star Trek.
So he wrote this book. He's a Twilight Zone expert. He wrote this book. And he's written for Sliders, Deep Space Nine, The Next Generation, right? Babylon 5, and
I love Babylon.
Yeah, you like Babylon 5?
Yeah. My
I'm a big fan.
So
yeah. And it was the first show to write the whole show in advance, wasn't it? Like shows usually kind of get written as they go along, but that was written as a novel in space, he called it.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys ever want to have a comic guy on, let me know and I'll put you in touch with my dad.
Yeah, okay, that'd be cool. Yeah.
All right, so then Mark Scott, how do you pronounce it? Zikri?
Zikri. I don't know. I was saying Zikri. I mean, he might be able to correct us. Hopefully, he's not like going to correct us in an angry voice. Can you get my name right?
I'm not coming on now.
So that'll be 1 week from today, April 4th.
Yeah,
and that'll be your
usual
clock
time.
will have moved ahead, right? So we'll be back to normal time everywhere. That'll be 6 o'clock Eastern and 11 o'clock daytime.
Yeah, and he's been told in an email that he's been contacted because of the Twilight Zone. So
yeah,
if we talk about those other things, then he's expecting to talk about Twilight Zone, I think.
Okay, so I'll focus on that then.
So.
Nothing else.
No biscuits.
No biscuits.
Can you hear my cat?
Yeah.
She just does that now and again.
Oh,
and I don't know why.
Her.
Hey, you want to see her?
Cats, it makes me so happy.
I'll try and get her.
Yay.
Hold on.
Very noisy.
Yeah. Creaky door. Olive is just here loafing.
You like that dog on the train yesterday. Very comfy.
Yeah. Can't see her on the screen though. Olive is being loaf dog. Here. Just there. You need a separate Olive cam.
Yeah, the way I had
Like
asked
what
Margaret how she did that.
Have Olive cam.
She ran under the bed. I won't be able to reach her.
Okay. All right.
So next time. She was doing lots of kind of video bombing of my videos for a little while. She's like sort of stand next to me while I was doing the video, and she'd like just appear. I'm like, oh hello. So yeah, there are some videos of her in the video. She is quite a beautiful cat, but she's also psychotic.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. She just randomly attacks my wife.
Yeah.
She'll be like, "Oh, she got me again," and she'll have like cuts and like plates all over her. Like,
yeah.
But she's very beautiful. But she's like really old now. She's older than the dogs, and the dogs are old. She's like 16.
Oh yeah, it's a good age.
Yeah. We need to renew our pets.
My uncle is an avid cat collector, and he really shouldn't be because he has a very small house that he calls the Prairie Shack. And recently he sent the family an email saying that he had picked up a new slightly used model that was only 2 years old. So he talks about the cats that he picks up like a vehicle, which is appropriate because he's a motorcycle racer who currently drives a bus. So here's what he said as a sort of entertaining thing too, as we wrap up. He says, "I bought a new, in brackets, used cat today. A low mileage, 2 years old, orange female tabby."
Let's just hope he doesn't try and ride the cats.
We hope.
Okay, so should we leave it there then, guys?
Leave it there, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry that I couldn't present Rosie to you.
Sorry.
She's buggered off.
I'll keep an eye out for next time.
Yeah. I'll try and bring him in the next one. But yeah, Battle Kitties. Thanks, Jenny, for sticking around because
Thanks,
there's
Jenny.
still
Always
7 people in the chat. There's 9 people in the chat now. It's suddenly increased, but we're just starting off, really, aren't we? So yeah, but it's been a really awesome chat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good chat.
Yeah, we knew we were going to talk about writing, but we didn't really know what else we were going to talk about. But it's awesome. It's nice to have this sort of.
That's
loose.
the beauty of the show.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you,
All right.
everybody that's still here. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
And if you're watching this on the replay, thanks for watching us on the replay.
Olive says
If
thanks.
you're not watching us at all, then you should be watching us. Olive says what? What did Olive say?
Olive says thanks. Oh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Olive's the one that matters. Right. Okay. I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end things.